Are we doing intros yet?
No, yes. So, hey y'all, I'm Addy. That's Alex. He doesn't speak.
Yeah,
we, we have Pink and we have Soon.
I don't speak.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going good.
So, have y'all fellas heard about cursed images?
No. What is that?
No, I'm aware of what
wait,
he's going to
are you
post
talk-
something. He's going to
Are you
post
talking
something from the
about-
Sonic fandom.
Are you talking
No.
about the meme? Like,
Yes, the meme.
images cursed?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, then yes, I have.
So let me put up a timestamp. Not that we really need it, but yeah.
I mean, I saw a picture of baby Hitler earlier, but I don't know if that counts.
Did he still have the mustache even then?
I wish. It's probably been photoshopped somewhere.
Yes, it definitely has. I've seen it.
So, on one part, this picture kind of requires context. On the other part, just look at the faces. Pretty freaking curse, if you ask me.
I've seen
I don't
it.
understand, but okay.
Freaking Sam has the best face. She just does.
Addy, I don't know why you keep making these references that half the podcast won't fucking get.
Like I care, dude.
Legitimately, like 50% of all podcasts is only content for Alex and Addy.
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
Pink will understand it in like a month or two. I don't remember when freaking Kiwami is getting added.
Oh, man. It's not even good. It just sucks.
I mean, the joke isn't good, but I like the faces. Like, I appreciate the faces. Right. Onto the topics.
Yeah, onto the topics. You know, I can agree. I appreciate the work that went into the faces, and with the ostrich, that it basically there was no work put into that, so it really stands out.
I thought we were moving on to topics, Pink. Why are you keeping us here?
I just want to throw that out there real quick as Addy gathered his topic.
Oh, here's the topics. That's it. There is none.
Oh, all right. I'm surprised you didn't bring up Assassin's Creed Ragnarok.
We already did. We talked about that before the podcast. That's what we were talking about when you came in.
Every
It
time
was
Soon's on the
not
podcast,
worthy.
every time Soon's on the podcast, he makes sure that the majority of the discussion happens before the fucking recording. I swear.
I mean, we can talk about Assassin's Creed Ragnarok, but I've got to assume that freaking most of y'all don't care, so...
I haven't even heard any of the information that came out, and I didn't know any more information had come out.
I
It's
can guarantee you
much.
Pink won't say anything,
Not-
but
Not official information, but leaked information.
Ah,
So,
is Thor playable?
Is store playable? No, but you will have the option of, again, choosing your gender.
Ah, very nice.
I mean, I think Assassin's Creed is just going to try and get closer and closer to custom characters with each game.
Right. Let me know when I can play as a fat man, because I would like to see a large, round, rotund man jump from a balcony and into a hay bale.
It's
Or
so
on-
weird.
on top
it's
of
so
somebody.
weird how the animus technology is getting worse as time goes on. Apparently, according to
It can no longer decide. I don't remember if this historical person was a male or a female, so here's both.
yeah,
Yep.
so...
Somehow, his
yeah.
brother and sister were both your ancestors. Wait a second, hang on.
If we go back to freaking Alabama, that's the next Assassin's Creed.
Oh, we don't have to go to Alabama. We're already in Greece.
True.
Now we're going to be in Norway.
So
I don't think the Vikings were as big on incest, admittedly.
Actually, not just Norway. We're going to be in the entirety of Northern Europe, apparently.
I guess I'll pull up the list of things that the leaks the leak, the one leak, said that there would be. So
The
basically,
leak
Let's
for
not
the
go
map
through the
suggests
complete-
that it will
Hang on,
span from England all the way to Norway and across Northern Europe, like France and Germany.
So how much
let's-
sailing do you reckon will be in the game?
a lot.
Oh,
That's
a lot. It's gonna be like, I mean, like you have to have sailing in order to sail from Norway to England.
Just
There
teleport.
will be no sailing in this fucking game about Northern Europe. You'll just fucking fly.
Oh yeah, you'll fly with the Valkyries.
No, you'll,
Right,
you'll
Yeah,
just
the-
ride on
just
Thor's
fly down
hammer.
and carry you over the ocean.
The latest piece of either is Mjolnir.
Yeah,
Trip the hammer and hold on.
in order to travel, you have to let the hammer pull you off.
Right, but so
My
what,
God,
what, what
the
were you
hammer
going to
pulls
say?
off?
What were you going to say, Dabia? About before we
I was
something?
going to say let's not do a detailed list because we'd be here forever. I was going to say let's hit the big points and the broad direction.
Oh, that's what I was planning on doing. So
Okay, because there are sometimes where we get stuck in lists and we just sit here for a fucking hour. Like, there are now axes instead of swords.
yeah. So the one thing that I well, not the one thing, I like multiple things as ideas in this league, but there are things that I dislike more than I like these, I think. So for example, up to 4-player drop in drop out co-op like Ghost Recon Wildlands, which I saw a lot of potential in that, so I don't mind this if they can build the game around it properly, so you can play it alone or you can play it with a group of people the same.
Don't slap it onto a fucking already finished single player game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not played Ghost Recon, but I do like that idea of drop in, drop out co-op. That
Yeah.
isn't mandatory, but can be fun to do along the way.
Yeah, so that's a positive thing. Negative thing, continuous heavy RPG mechanics, targeting different classes and mild skill tree changes based on class, which is fair, but you know.
Not a
You and I have very differing opinions on this because I'm
Yes.
perfectly content with more creative freedom to do what I want in the video game.
Yeah, I love RPG mechanics getting added to Assassin's Creed.
It depends on which mechanics.
Yeah. Speaking of,
The
weapon
the
degradation,
mechanic that I don't like is weapon degradation.
Yes.
which is also
Fuck
getting added.
that.
No!
That should never ever be in any video game. It always makes the game a chore to play.
Mm-hmm.
So how?
It's a confounding mechanic. It is genuinely confounding because it doesn't make the game more immersive, and in fact, I'd say it does the opposite.
Yeah.
It just makes
So-
the game worse.
So what
It takes me out of the game to be like, oh, hey, you used a hammer. Congrats, your sword is now perfect, good as new. Like, well, what? No, it doesn't fucking work like that.
So here's what the league says verbatim. Weapon durability does now come into play, forcing players to use their weapons pool more effectively and forced to manage a smaller inventory that can be upgraded. So people are talking about what Ubisoft's reasoning would be to do such a thing, which it wasn't a hard search, microtransactions.
Oh my gosh, that's true. Yeah.
Because with this, not only can they sell you weapon repair kits, but they can also sell you inventory slots.
They're not going to sell weapon repair kits. They
Yeah,
might sell you durability upgrades, but they won't sell you weapon repair kits because the game would be genuinely unbeatable without them.
They'll definitely sell you weapons for sure.
Oh, they've
Oh,
been
yeah,
doing
Like
that.
you'll be extremely limited in weapon variety in terms of what you'll be able to have.
So that parkour is upgraded according to them, which now there's tree climbing, which doesn't really make a lot of difference. 'Cause it just like I don't see what big difference it does to the parkour that there is now tree climbing, considering that basically any freaking surface was climbable. And how
Hasn't tree climbing been in the Assassin's Creed series since like 4?
got removed
3.
after Syndicate, I think.
Of course they took it out.
Huh, interesting.
It's the WWE way of handling things. Take out features so that you can advertise adding them back in.
That means 100% we're going to have a level where we have to climb Yggdrasil.
So there's that. Another thing that I think sounds interesting is the changes they made to stealth, which I'll read this out again. Stealth is upgraded by having physical stealth skills such as hiding in mud, snow, crouching in bushes, hiding in bales of hay, etc. Players can now also hide in crowds of civilians if their outfit/armor is appropriate, otherwise it can attract attention. Which, this sounds interesting to me because freaking social stealth is back. Yeah?
Yeah, you're going to be able to hide in the crowds of like all 5 Vikings in the town.
Yeah. All two Vikings that are in a freaking 5-mile radius of each other because the freaking world is so barren. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what time period is this?
The 867, supposedly.
867. That's not too bad.
I mean, that's the like peak of the Viking era, unless they want to go earlier and have like the heyday of Ragnarok, which would be around the 750s.
Well,
late 700s.
If they put it earlier, they can have the Romans as the villains again. So
no, Vikings weren't around back then. Not really. Like the heyday of the Vikings is from the 700s to the 800s, late 800s.
Yeah.
Well, the leaks suggest that you're gonna meet Ragnar on the start of the story. Okay. But then I think you're also there for his death. So yeah.
Okay, so that would mark it around 850. Because he would have died around then, and then his sons would have ended up doing their revenge thing in 869.
Okay, so the leak says the game begins in 845 CE.
Okay, see, got it.
So yeah, here's another thing that I don't like. Apparently, the map is all of Northern Europe.
So, yeah, that's amazing.
I disagree, because I want them to make a good map first before it being big. Because if there's jack shit to do with it, and if it all just looks the same, then what's the point of it?
I don't think it will all look the same. Like, that means that they're going to have very different locations. Like, Norway is going to be all mountainous. England is going to be mostly hilly. France is going to be fairly plains.
I mean, if they put the effort in, it could be good. But then also, 85% of Greece look the same. So,
I think they'll put in enough effort. They may not have it as detailed as in past games, but they will definitely have it so that it's got biomes.
And let's see if there's anything that I've missed. So here's a thing that I don't like the sound of. Well, it seems like an interesting mechanic until you realize why they've probably done it. So players now have a reputation system based on quests completed for people in cities, the town officials, clothing worn, crimes committed, etc. Some quests and story missions can only be completed after reaching a certain reputation with Kingdom. So the thing is, this would be an alright mechanic. But since they're doing away with level gating, apparently, they're just going to be doing freaking reputation gating now.
That's dumb. That's what they kind of did in Odyssey with the choose Athens or Sparta, and it just wasn't engaging at all. But Ubisoft doesn't know how to do factions, right?
Nope.
I doubt they ever have any intention of doing them right.
Yeah. It's it gives the illusion of choice with the two sides basically being the exact same.
I think that's how Ubisoft intends to function in all things going forward.
Yeah, that's true. Ubisoft has made some really confounding decisions in the past.
When you're making an RPG and you offer a faction choice, you stand the chance of making some political problems if you have actual differences between the factions. So just make them both be the same flavor of shit. Just they're both shit. Okay, congrats. Like we're never gonna get Fallout New Vegas again, where it's at least different flavors of shit.
We're not
Well,
getting
we will, but like,
Ubisoft.
what was the RPG you were really into for a minute there? Soon, like, was it Pillars of Eternity? It was real big on the factions.
I mean, I've gotten big into a lot of RPGs for a hot minute. So, but Pillars of Eternity, I never was very into. I've
thought there
played
was
it.
one-
It's just not very engaging for me. I didn't
I thought there was
engage with the world.
I thought there was one that was all about like a bunch of different factions and they're all shit.
Tyranny. You're thinking of
Tyranny, yes, Tyranny.
Tyranny was pretty good. It had a pretty good world building. I just wasn't able to finish it ever. But yeah. Yeah, no, if you want like games that are where like everybody is shit, I mean Obsidian is the best place to go.
Yep.
Obsidian loves doing everybody is terrible and there's no right decision to make here. And it's part of the reason I don't like Obsidian so much, because they're so obsessed with that idea that it makes a lot of the choices that you make just aren't engaging because there's no good choice.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's why would
I haven't played Outer Worlds, but I will say in New Vegas, there's usually a right choice.
Okay, yeah. I mean, New Vegas is probably the best they've done, but like with the last Pillars of Eternity, apparently it was so bad that like each faction was terrible. You basically had either fascists or like genocidal maniacs, and you had to choose between the two, or you could choose to like do your own thing. But if you do your own thing, you become a dictator.
Well, also fascism typically leads to genocide anyways, so it makes no difference.
So you choose either fascism, racism, or being a dictator, and they're all basically the same thing. They're all terrible, and there's no right decision to make. And that's why I don't like Obsidian so much.
Some people are into that.
So, the last 2 points that I thought would be good to point out is that, for one, difficulty is supposed to return but focus more on parry times, which is good. Like, yes, make an actual combat mechanic, cowards. But
cowards!
But another one that I think we'll disagree on. Leveling is overhauled to allow players to improve skill sets to gain experience, like in Skyrim. As a result, level lock in regions and content is gone.
I don't like that.
I don't understand.
How do you level up? Is it like how do you level up your skills? Is it by using them?
In Skyrim, yeah.
Like I know in Skyrim, Addy, but I'm asking, is that how it's going to be in the new Assassin's Creed?
I mean, with how they said it, I think so, yeah.
No lie.
That's bad.
No lie, guaranteed.
On one hand, I'm kind of interested just to see how the hell they would pull that shit off. Like how badly it would fail.
If they don't do the using the skills to level them up thing, then it's okay. But otherwise, because otherwise you're just never going to use some of the skills.
Yeah, it encourages you to railroad real bad.
Yeah,
RPGs are already really bad about fucking min-maxing. Like making it like that, it means I'm guaranteed to deal with every fight with the same fucking moves.
Yeah, you
so
basically
I get those moves better.
Basically, how it works basically how it works is that it limits the gameplay that you'll be able to use in any one playthrough.
Yep.
Which, to be honest, isn't much different than how they handled it in Odyssey. So, because you just had like a freaking couple of combat skills that you use, and you just spammed those. That was the combat.
That's how Ubisoft has always been, Addy.
Well, there's a difference between what is like, oh, well, you can level anything, but these moves are the only moves that are good, versus, oh, anything is good, but you're only going to level one or two things because you will be making yourself weaker if you don't.
Exactly.
They're both bad, but in different ways.
Yeah. Ubisoft has been terrible with skill trees for a long time. I mean, it's like one of the worst parts of all of their games, honestly. Like in Shadow of War, or not Shadow of War, but Shadow of Mordor. I didn't play Shadow of War. But in Shadow of
War, hang on. That's not Ubisoft. That's Warner Brothers.
Oh yeah, that's right. But they basically do like the same kind of skill trees.
Right, but you can't criticize Ubisoft by criticizing a game that was made by somebody else.
Yeah, I just got so confused. I got confused because they play like the exact same. So I'm sorry.
Disagree.
But, okay. I mean, they do, but okay.
They play mostly the same, but the controls don't feel the same.
The controls aren't the same, yeah, but that you can say that about other Ubisoft games. But like, as far as what Ubisoft does, the Shadow games have done pretty much exactly what Ubisoft does. Like, they even had the tower climbing mechanic thing.
Which was a bad idea.
Yeah, it always is.
I mean,
but like
on some level, I have to just like Ubisoft's one of those cases where I have to respect the hustle. They've just made the same fucking game for how many years now? Like, okay, now it's in first-person perspective. Now it's in third-person perspective. Now you're a hacker. Now you're an assassin.
Yeah, like Far Cry, Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, they all play the same.
Ghost Recon.
Or at least they did until they changed Assassin's Creed.
No, they changed Assassin's Creed to fit more into the new way of doing everything, literally everything.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's true. Yeah.
Witcher and Skyrim.
But like at least they changed like what they were doing until like you know what I mean.
I
don't change a little bit.
So if your argument is that it's good to have change, I think Caddy's going to disagree with you.
Yeah, I know.
This is the argument Addy and I have had for about how many episodes have we recorded now? 109. All right, I'd say we've been having this argument for 95 episodes. Then
I would say that change is both good and bad. I mean, like
change is neutral.
Change is neutral, yeah. It depends on the change.
Change is a variable.
Yeah, that I can agree to, because change can be good, but with how Ubisoft pulled it off, it sucked ass.
Yeah. When change ends up affecting the entire industry, it's bad.
Like, okay, there's negative change. Like, Assassin's Creed is now Skyrim. But then there's positive change. Like, Addy, what if tomorrow Assassin's Creed was like, guess what? Now we're Guilty Gear.
That would be weird as shit, dude. Like,
you'd be happy, wouldn't you?
I mean, if Assassin's Creed was freaking Guilty Gear, like, I don't even know how they would change to reach that point. Like a Musou game, I can see how they would move on to that. Like, it would make so sense monetarily, but I can at least see how they would change to that genre. It just becoming a 2D fighter would be weird as hell.
Assassin's Creed should just become Dynasty Warriors.
Yo, why isn't there an Assassin's Creed fighting game?
Actually, now that you say it, there actually was. Well, there wasn't plans for it, but one of the artists who worked on 3 or 4, I think, made a mock-up of screens of an Assassin's Creed fighting game and tried to pitch it to the devs, or like, you know, his higher-ups, but they were like, nah, nobody would buy it. And then Ezio was in Soul Calibur 5.
I mean, to their credit, they were right. Nobody would buy it.
Yeah, nobody would buy it.
Like, fighting games are a niche genre as someone who loves fighting games.
Yeah.
Which makes it all the weirder that there's a League of Legends fighting game coming.
There's a League of Legends everything coming out, dude.
Yeah, I know. There is a League of Legends everything now. If there's a genre, there's a League of Legends game. Have they
Riot is
the first
correctly
person
guessing,
yet?
though, that the thing is, Riot is correctly guessing that there is an untapped market in fighting games. That guys like Capcom and NetherRealm are just kind of screwing the pooch, which is correct, and that there could be a better way to do a fighting game.
Yeah.
Like I know that like we're not supposed to like League because League is League, but I'm really hopeful for the League fighting game because it presents some real potential for innovation in a genre that badly needs it.
Yeah, but I don't think there will be innovation.
Well, I mean, if they don't fucking innovate, then what's the purpose? Like, what? Like, put it.
I mean, they're just pumping out a game for each genre. I don't think that they're trying to innovate. I think that they're just trying to like get as many different types of audiences as they can, and hopefully, like, I'm thinking that they want to like put these games out to like draw people into the main league game.
They don't need to do that. The people are already into the main league game. It's got 25 million fucking players.
Yeah, but they always want more players.
Well, yeah,
like,
obviously.
This is how it always is. Like, I mean, that they always try to expand, because if they aren't expanding, then they start to lose their stocks, because the investors want expansion.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Like,
I mean, in capitalism, you move or you die.
Yeah,
but
so they're just trying to expand. They're not like trying to innovate, and they're not trying to like reinvent different genres. They're just trying to engage with those genres.
Right, but ideally they want to make money, and they want to get that new audience. And fighting games are a congested market right now. There's very little market space for fighting games, and we already have Street Fighter V, Mortal Kombat 11, Tekken 7, BlazBlue Cross Tag that are all doing pretty good numbers. Like, Riot needs to do something to beat the competition in order to have a place there. And
I'm doubtful that they will.
Right, you can just have your doubts about Riot and be totally justified, but I'm inclined to say that Riot might pump money into a project to push out the other fighting games.
I've never seen any evidence that Riot's willing to innovate in the genres that they participate in.
I mean, what
it seems like a very follow the leader kind of company, like Ubisoft.
Right, but they can pump money into it.
Yeah, they can. But that doesn't equal innovation. That equals advertisement and production value.
Right, but I think also fighting games have been kind of lacking in production value for a bit.
Yeah, that is true.
Because they don't make money.
Like Marvel versus Cap.
Well, yeah, that's the obvious example to bring up, because holy shit.
Yeah,
because they spent like $5 to make that game.
Yeah, the game was made on $2 and stomach lint.
Like, I know it sounds like you two are joking here, but for those who don't know, which might include Pink, the entirety of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite's budget was equivalent to one Street Fighter V DLC character's budget.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. The same budget that went into fucking Jury went into the entirety of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Didn't they wasn't it like the leftover money from some other game?
I haven't heard about that.
Vampire Savior.
That point.
Addy, don't make me sad.
Riot will have a freaking guest character that is exclusive to them, that will not show up in any other game on the freaking next gen consoles. It's gonna be Morrigan in her freaking PS1 sprite.
I don't need to be sold on the League game. If it turns out to not be shit, then I'll absolutely pick it up. I like a lot of the League characters. It's just fucking League is League. It's not the best MOBA.
Smite.
If I'm going to play MOBA, I'm going to play Smite or Dota, depending on whether or not I want my brain to hurt. Dota is a fascinating experiment, but oh god, is it something.
Evoker is the best character still. Evoker should be in Smite.
I would be interested to see if that could work.
I don't think so.
What's Evoker?
Evoker is fucking cooking mama of MOBA characters. He is the character that all of his ability slots are ingredients, and he mixes them together to form abilities.
I feel like there's definitely like a Slavic god that could work for that.
Like, okay, what it is he has actually 12 abilities, and he needs to press 3 abilities in a row to do each ability. So he has a meteor that's like, he has a meteor ability. In order to do it, he needs to press 3 5 times.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what Evoker is, and that's what that is referring to.
Okay.
Right. Let's go to silence.
Yeah, what on earth were we even talking about? That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, we were closing up a Ragnarok, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about Ragnarok, then we started trashing Ubisoft, and then we ended up getting on League of Legends because League of Legends doesn't innovate just like Ubisoft or something like that.
Which, I mean, apparently innovation doesn't make money, so.
I mean, it does, but, like, it's risky.
It is.
And a lot of companies are risk averse.
I mean, look at Assassin's Creed Ragnarok. No innovation there.
Nope.
Nope.
But hey, it's third-person Skyrim. Buy it now.
Dude, people will.
Skyrim was technically third person.
Yeah, I know.
Technically.
Technically,
I'm pretty sure that
have
playing
the
third
ability
person
to play in third person. It was just like the worst way to play.
If you play third person in a Bethesda game for longer than 3 hours, you will get eye candy.
Pink can talk about the guy who was really angry that I was playing Fallout New Vegas in third person when we recorded one of the episodes because I did it as a joke.
Was there just some guy on Mixer who came on and was like, "Why are you recording third person?"
He was like, I have over 300 hours in this game. You need to be in first person. Third person sucks. Why the hell are you doing this?
I have over 300 confirmed kills in fucking in Iraq. You shouldn't be playing Fallout in third person. I'm going to call my mom.
Who is also has 300 confirmed kills in Iraq.
300 confirmed kills in Iraq. Oh man.
So yeah, that was funny when that happened. I was just like, hey, cool.
Sweet, we've got a troll. We're on our way to money.
Yeah.
That guy probably wasn't even a troll. He was just a genuine fucking asshole.
Probably.
Casually strolling through all the Fallout New Vegas streams on Mixer.
I have
making sure none of them are playing in third person. That's how he spends his time.
I have over 300 confirmed hours spent in Todd Howard's freaking presence. Todd Howard is my uncle. Stop playing in third person.
Well, okay. Well, if your uncle is Todd Howard, what's your name? Dodd Howard.
Right. So moving on. Was there anything else of freaking note in the week? Because I don't remember anything that happened that should be brought up.
No.
I guess they revealed freaking Osaka in Persona 5 Scramble. It exists now,
Yeah.
I guess.
Persona Scramble is like a spin-off, right? That's like the sequel to Persona 5, but not Persona 5 Royale.
Yes.
It's Dynasty Warriors, but Persona.
Yeah. The weird thing is that it isn't a sequel to Royale.
It's a weird fucking thing the Persona games have, whether or not the things are The original version is canon up until they release the remaster. But also, if you develop during the fucking development of the remaster, then the remaster isn't canon. And that's why Marie is fucking DLC in Persona 4 Arena.
So is the spinoff going to be canon?
No. Yes.
I don't think it's going to matter.
Probably not.
The Persona 5 story is already over. You don't ask if the Persona 4 Arena story is going to be canon, do you?
No.
It doesn't fucking matter because it happens after Persona 4. And so far as I know, Persona 3 Dancing All Night isn't relevant to any of the Personas coming after, so...
Are you sure about that?
No.
No, he's wrong. It's actually confirmed that after the events of Persona 5, freaking Makoto starts dressing like Sayajima. Or whoever. Freaking... Is she Majima? I forget.
Yes, she is.
Then yeah,
I will never forget that because of how fucking weird it is. We've talked about it before on the podcast, though. We don't need to bring it up.
It's because of things that happen in Zero, I think.
Well, the weirder one is on being Majima, honestly.
Or wait, no, yeah, the freaking Makoto dresses like Sayajima because of her name, I think, and then I don't know why on his Majima.
It's like if they released a Batman costume pack and on his Joker for some reason. Did Soon just chirp like a bird?
I didn't, but I mean, there are birds outside.
Yeah, there we go. These fucking English birds won't shut up.
They released a Batman pack and on his Solomon Grundy.
No, Makoto will be Solomon Grundy.
Yeah, probably. Right. I guess let's move on to what y'all did this week. Or wait, actually...
by the way, there's going to be a sequel to Evil Genius after 16 years.
Right, that is a game that I almost guarantee you Pink and Addie do not know what it is.
Nope.
You only know what it is because I bought it for...
Yeah, that's absolutely the truth, but I know what it is. You say that like it's a qualifier, like I should also be excluded. Like, all right, if you know about this game because someone else bought it for you, all right, raise your hand. All right, you are now excluded. Get out of the fucking room.
But yeah,
it's time for Sue to talk about this game by himself.
It looks pretty good from what I've seen.
Oh yeah, the first one was really fucking good. Better than it had any right to be, honestly.
Yeah. Isn't it like a dungeons game, but like with the evil genius concept?
Yes.
Okay.
There is what was I going to say? It's very good in a variety of ways, not only just in terms of building and managing your minions, but also the difference between the masterminds and the various henchmen you can get. Yeah. You can basically get Black Dynamite as an assassin, and it's fantastic.
Right.
Right.
So actually, let's move on to the videos. Because I forgot about that.
What's coming out on your channel this week, Addy?
Probably just the freaking same. As for the forums channel, we have the last part of Game Dev Tycoon finally, and then on Friday, Samurai Showdown 5.
All right, that was an interesting one.
Yep.
I didn't know what to make of it. You won't either, audience. Pink, you got anything coming out on your channel?
I don't think so. Probably not.
Okay. On my channel, I've got an episode of Dark Souls 2 coming out. It will be the only thing that's coming out this week because my computer fucking broke, so hey. Other than that, I'm thinking I'm going to put a fucking hiatus on my channel because I realized, like, the reason we do this is, one, to be for an excuse for us to get together and just talk, shoot the shit, and play games, right? And I
Right.
don't know if you can hear me over Pink's chirping,
No,
Soon's
that's
chirping
Soon, yeah.
bird.
The birds are coming.
They're spreading. I don't know why they decided to go east instead of west, but they're spreading. They've already taken China. So, yeah, I realized, like, doesn't get views. So really, like, the reason we record as a group is an excuse for us to get together and do this whole shit show for fun. And so we can record it for us to look back on later. So why the fuck do I record by myself? I don't know. So I'm putting my solo channel on hiatus, not only because my computer's broken, but also just because I'm not sure I even want to do it. Kind of felt like I was just doing it out of obligation. And that's it for what we've been recording. I've been uploading. Pink, what have you been up to this past week, man?
Outside of the games I played with you, I think the only thing I did this week that was really new, because I watched a lot of TV, but it was in the living room, so it was stuff I'd already seen before, like Daredevil, Gravity Falls, etc. But I did play Stardew Valley.
Nice.
Yeah.
On what platform?
Switch. They have it on Switch.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Does that game have crossplay?
I wouldn't have the slightest clue.
I wouldn't imagine it would. There's a very small list of games that does. It is actually shockingly small for how big of a feature it is.
Right.
Right. Now, Gravity Falls, you're a fan of Gravity Falls, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever finish the series? I thought you said you never finished it.
I never finished the series. Nope. I probably saw the first season. I don't know how many seasons there were, but probably around season 2, I've been getting busy with other things in life.
Okay. That's one of those shows where the majority of what I hear is about the final season.
Ha.
Which, you know what happens in the final season, right?
I don't have a clue what happens in the final season. I just kind of dropped off the face of the earth back in 2014, 13. So, nope, not a clue.
Oh, huh. Okay, I guess I won't spoil you on it, because some interesting stuff does happen. Anything else?
Outside of those, no, I don't think I did. It's been a long week of being the boss now, so I've not had time.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's a whole new host of issues right there.
Miserable, I tell you.
Pink is not a boss baby.
Not yet, but we're working on it.
Voiced by Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy.
Famous,
I feel like he
respected
was
actor
mentioned
Alec
the
Baldwin.
other day, and I didn't know who he was. And I'm still not sure who he is, but there we have it.
The thing I hate, it was God of Gaming mentioned him to you, and God of Gaming got confused and thought he played Thomas Wayne in Joker. God of Gaming has seen Joker. He knows that's not Alec Baldwin. I don't know why he told you he played Thomas Wayne in Joker. All right. Addy. No, wait, soon. What you been up to?
This week I watched Vikings, or I watched the first season of Vikings, and
That works out.
the first 2 episodes of season 2. Why does
Right,
that?
I've heard good things.
It's how do I'd say it's really, really entertaining, honestly. It's super entertaining. The characters are really well written. It's very interesting in what it does with its characters, because, like, it's so alien. Like, the morality of the show is so alien, because it's using, like, Viking morality. So, like, they do things that we would consider awful, but the show portrays it as good. Or is at least ambivalent towards it, which is super interesting. As far as historical accuracy, there is none. Like at all.
Yeah,
Because that was the question I was going to ask. How historically accurate is it?
There is literally zero historical accuracy. Every single thing in the show did not happen. Or at least, okay, how do I... So, like, they have a siege of Paris, which did happen historically, but, like, none of the people who, like, participated in that siege were even alive during the time that the siege happened. And then, like, all of the characters have, like, relations with one another that weren't even historically accurate. The main character, we don't even know if he existed. They have a bunch of mythological characters that we most certainly know didn't exist. They like try to present mythology as actually being true sometimes.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like everyone who makes a historical TV show with historical accuracy wants to do that now. Well, like, who tries to portray it as not being fiction.
Yeah.
There's, like, okay, Total War Troy obviously springs to mind, but, like, there's something that gets some people's dick hard about the idea of old people being so fucking stupid they thought that people were minotaurs.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Well, admittedly, Assassin's Creed is clearly like, this is bullshit, but we're doing it because it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, at no point are they like, oh, here's a guy on crack. Everybody thinks he's Anubis. Like, no.
Yeah. But yeah, like, Vikings it's not historically accurate at all. So you should go into it just thinking of it as being, like, as fantastical as Game of Thrones.
I'm not going to go into it at all.
Okay. But it is very good. It's very entertaining. It's got very high production value. And it doesn't make sense that it was made by the History Channel.
That really doesn't make sense. I thought I heard that show had a ton of nudity.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, the History Channel has gotten more risque than I remember.
I mean, the History Channel isn't even the History. They aired Ancient Aliens.
Well, I know they've been getting less historically accurate. What I mean is, I don't remember there being fucking nudity on the History Channel. Maybe it's just
there's always been nudity. The question is it acceptable nudity?
Right.
Like they're allowed
History
to
is full of nudity. Let's be honest.
They've been allowed to show nudity for, like, with statues and painting.
Yeah.
Ever since
How
aliens
many
abducted
illustrations
Hitler,
in your history textbook had, little wieners or titties out? There were a lot.
I mean, there's a difference between a statue and getting an actress fucking naked for a sex scene.
I know. But yeah, there's a lot of sex. Ton of sex. There's like a sex scene in each episode.
Okay. I'm starting to see why people watched it, and I'm starting to see why it got produced in the first place.
But yeah, it is very good. I wouldn't say it's as good as Game of Thrones, obviously, or at least it wasn't until Game of Thrones trashed itself. But it's pretty high up there as far as, like, historical fantasy goes for TV shows. It's definitely better than The Witcher.
I mean, if you're just going to add that qualifier, we can throw that on anything. Big Rigs Over the Road Racing 2. It's better than The Witcher.
the funny
it's better than The Witcher.
A funny thing about The Witcher over here is so they released after the games got bigger, but the third game wasn't out yet. They started releasing the books that the games are adapted from in Hungarian, and they called the series Voják, which is a thing that you call a person who's senile. So,
well, Geralt does look like an old person.
I mean, he is supposed to be old, I think, but, like, it's a weird title for a freaking fantasy adventure series about a guy who has no dick trying to freaking put it into things.
But yeah, other than watching.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say something. if they're going to make a TV show or video game or movie set in a certain historical period, I'd prefer that they not pretend to have any historical accuracy. I mean, if they're not going to bother being historically accurate, I would prefer that they don't pretend the stuff actually happened. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, anything else?
I also went to Oxford this week.
Okay, what'd you do there?
I went to like the botanical gardens, which will accept like everything was dead because January. But they had like they had some indoor gardens, which they had like tropical and a bunch of other plants. So I got to see that. I got to see the like Narnia corridor with like the door that inspired the wardrobe from Narnia, the satyrs which inspired Tomness from Narnia, and the light post that marks the entrance to Narnia.
Huh, all right.
As well as the library that inspired a building in the Silmarillion.
Huh,
And
all right.
I got to see the other library that was used in a bunch of scenes in Harry Potter, and inspired some of Tolkien's stuff as well. I got to see quite a lot of stuff actually. Oxford is a really cool town.
I would imagine so.
And then I also, what's the other thing I did? Oh, I went to the Knights Temple in London.
The what?
The Knights Templar Temple.
That's in London?
Yes, there is a temple of the Knights Templar in London.
And they kept it going after the French persecuted them.
Yes, it's still around, and it still operates, and they still do services there.
Oh, I didn't know the Knights Templar were still operating.
Yeah, they weirdly
Hi,
are.
Dave.
They aren't the Knights Templar really, but like they have like kids dress up in Knights Templar outfits when they do the choir. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
There are actually a lot of the old medieval knights or knightly orders that are still operating. I'm aware of that.
Yeah, there are.
What was the other one? Big one. The Knights
Hospitalier.
Yeah,
Knights
they're still
Hospitalier.
operating.
Yep. There's also some knights in New England that still operate that were around in the medieval too. They have
Teutonic Knights. The Teutonic Knights are still in Germany as well, I believe.
Yeah, I think that one of the Knight Orders has like a headquarters in Boston.
Huh.
So that's cool.
But nowadays, they aren't actual knights. They're really just like charity missions.
Yeah. Also, I got to see the ring that might have inspired the One Ring from Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Which was pretty cool. And other than that, I feel like I watched a movie. Oh, I watched the first episode of the Dracula series, or at least most of it. I'm not entirely done with the first episode.
Yeah. I saw a little bit of that in passing as well.
It's pretty interesting, but like I heard about what happens in the third episode, and now I've kind of lost interest.
Yeah, see, I saw that. I walked in on that, and I was like, "Oh, this is stupid now."
Yeah, you know how it like ends.
Yeah, Stephen Moffat was kind of going back to base, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Do we want? Might as well just do it again.
Do we want to just say it? Because I doubt Pink are going to watch it.
Probably not. So yeah, go ahead.
So Dracula apparently goes to the modern age in the third episode.
What? Why?
Yeah.
What? Van Helsing's daughter locks him in a box and throws him to the bottom of the ocean, and it takes him 150 years to get out.
Yep.
Okay.
So now he's in the modern age.
It's not quite a Steve Rogers, but Almost.
It was the weird thing is that this miniseries is supposed to be based on the Bram Stoker novel, and then they just decided to put Dracula in the like 21st century. I don't think that was Bram Stoker novel.
Yeah, Bram Stoker was pretty.
He was pretty foreseeing. I don't know why he gave Dracula laser eyes though, and why he was a cyborg, but you know.
My understanding of Bram Stoker was that he was pretty. I don't want to say trashy, but he knew he was making pulp novels for people to just buy and enjoy.
Yeah, I
He
know.
wasn't trying. He wasn't trying to make artwork.
Yeah, the thing I was saying is that I doubt he like accurately predicted the first century back in the.
Yeah, but if he could have, he would have.
I mean, anybody. You could say that about.
I don't know. There are some writers that would keep it to themselves. I feel like Mark Twain would just write satire about it.
That's true.
And Mark Twain, one of the biggest smartasses in history.
Yeah, he would just like write a really satirical time travel. Oh wait, he already did.
That doesn't even remotely surprise me.
Wait, you don't know about this?
No, I know like 2 Mark Twain stories.
He wrote
I
like
mostly know
the
his
first.
quotation.
He wrote like the first science fiction novel, A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, and it's just
I know that one.
satire. It's really boring satire.
I would imagine it. Isn't it? Oh, right. I might have heard of this. Is it like along the same lines as Don Quixote, where it's just him taking the piss out of people who fantasize about the medieval times?
Pretty much, yeah. It ends with him like with the main character creating a bunch of machine guns and basically winning a war with like miniguns.
Right. That's about as stupid as I hoped. Mark Twain, clearly a man after my own heart. He basically built the Warhammer universe.
Yeah.
Just add in a dinosaur. It's a knight with a machine gun fighting a dinosaur. Oh, well, Mark, you didn't. My dick can only get so erect, Mark. Anyway, what did you do?
Soon.
Soon?
Oh, you're talking to me? I thought I was done.
Well, I guess you are now.
All right. Now what?
Now, Addie.
Well, I guess then it's Addie's turn.
All right. I finished Kiwami 1 because it's really short. I played through all of it in 2 days. So yeah. Kiwami 1.
Okay, hang on. Before you move forward, I gotta go ahead and mention Yakuza Kiwami. Kiwami is a Yakuza game soon in pink. It's a remaster of the first.
I know the titles of the Yakuza games.
I know, but sometimes Addie just gets going, and I'm like, okay, hang on. Translation time.
So yeah, Kiwami 1 was okay. It's a bit of a letdown after 0, but
It's
fine.
taking the original, which had the lowest concept.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
If they made a remaster of fucking Elder Scrolls 1, you have no idea how disappointed Elder Scrolls fans would be.
They should do that.
And they're difficult to disappoint.
I would love to see that.
Elder Scrolls 6 is actually just Elder Scrolls 1 Kiwami.
I really want to see a remaster of Elder Scrolls 1.
Yeah, for how much fucking nudity there was in that game. Like every female character was naked or some shit in that game.
Yeah. What was it even called? Was it? It was Elder Scrolls.
Arena.
Arena. That's right. Right.
I thought Arena was the second one. I guess not.
No,
No,
the
that
second
was
one is
Daggerfall.
Daggerfall.
Oh, right, yeah.
The game world, somehow.
Just because the video game world is also the most empty video.
Yeah, I mean, there's no record for that. Most empty game world.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing will change.
Nothing has changed.
Like, this is just going to keep happening, dude. There is just a certain group of people, Skyrim fans, whose dicks get hard at big worlds.
Yep. It's like
They take off the video game's clothes and they're like, "Oh, it's so big."
It's
And
the
then they
video
slobber
game.
on it.
It's the video game dick measuring contest.
It's worse.
How big is your work?
But like, it's like a.
How big is your world and how much nothing can you do in it?
It's not about. It's not about the size of
No,
the
how much
world,
nothing
it's
can you do in
about
it?
What you can do.
But wait, the penis is also hollow and plastic.
So it's a dildo?
Yeah,
You just cut your dick off and strapped one on.
yeah, I guess. But it's a glass dildo, so people can see through it. And there's also the potential. There's also the potential of freaking injuring people.
But nobody wants to admit it to it. Oh God.
Yeah. Right. So, Kiwami 1 was alright, all things considered. Let's see if there's anything that I remember that particularly. Haruka is a nice character. Like, I don't. People apparently have problems with her in 5, which I don't know. 5 is coming out next month.
With her isn't her. The problem is the fact that she's a new playable character and she's a fucking music game.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. You don't want to know how much karaoke I play.
Well, people also probably hate the whole thing of idol culture, which doesn't translate to any culture outside of Japan.
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
Particularly, like I have to imagine, knowing how Japan tends to handle these kinds of things, it's supposed to be like, oh, idol culture is all screwed up. But I have to doubt that it'll actually commit to the storyline. It'll probably be like, idol culture is all screwed up. Also, look at this 16-year-old girl's naked ass. Yeah.
Are you having on flashbacks? Right. So that I also started Kiwami 2, which the Dragon Engine is weird. Like, there's a lot of, as I've said it in the last episode of last year, it has a lot of quality of life upgrades that I like, and then the combat is just so weird because
what the fuck?
Like the charging moves. Soon as remodeling his room as we speak.
They're trying to hunt me down.
I hear him like opening up a Coke can, suckling on a lollipop, all kinds of shit over there.
I opened my door and then I went downstairs.
Okay, it didn't sound like that.
Well, that's what happened.
Right, anyway. So, I guess not. Right. So, alright. Let me mute him. he can unmute himself.
Alright, well, goodbye soon. Alright, so Yakuza Kiwami, right. So is there anything in particular you noticed on the second go-around you didn't notice on the first?
Not really, no. Well, a thing that I forgot about, but I remember now, is how when you fight Majima, he actually uses all of his styles from Zero.
Wait, I forget, did they bring styles back for Kiwami too? Oh,
No, not Kiwami
they
2,
retained it for
Kiwami 1.
Kiwami 2?
No, I think I didn't hear all of your question because
Okay,
it got out after Kiwami.
does Kiwami 2 have the style system for Kiryu as well? Oh, so Majima
No,
has exclusive
no,
access to the style system.
no.
What the fuck?
Once again, after Kiwami, you cut out. So I thought you were talking about the first one.
Okay, yeah, I heard you say that Kiwami 1 had the style system. Hang on, let me turn on the fucking phone to make sure you can hear me. Okay, you said Kiwami 1 has the style system. I asked if Kiwami 2 kept it. You said no. Okay. So,
Yes.
Majima has exclusive access to it. What do you mean?
No. Because when you asked if I remembered or if I saw anything about Kiwami 2 that I didn't see on the first playthrough, I thought you were talking about Kiwami 1 because it
I
cut
was
out
talking
after
about Kiwami 1.
Ah,
My voice didn't cut
all
out after
right.
Kiwami because I just stopped at
There we
saying
go.
Kiwami.
So, right. So yeah, no. Kiwami 2 has no style switch. Style switch them. Yeah, style system at all.
So Majima, it's just reference to Yakuza 0. Then.
Yes, in Kiwami 1 is just a reference to Yakuza 0, sadly. And then in 2 it's like it's just the Mad Dog style. I think.
All right.
Yeah. Also, that another thing that I'm not sure if I talked about when I first played through the game was how there's freaking Japanese wrestlers in one of the sub stories. Like it's a
yes, you have to fight the
it's a
Great
small
Muta.
freaking storyline. Yes, but you don't actually get to fight him. You have to fight his people with your people.
Obviously.
And it's
Why would you want to
game.
fight the Great Muta? Ignoring, obviously, that'd be a terrible boss fight. Why would you ever want to fight him?
I think you can fight the Great Muta in 6, though.
I was like, why? What? That's such a missed opportunity. Why? Oh.
Like, I think... Yeah, because I think from what I heard about 6 is that as you're walking around Kamurocho, you just bump into wrestlers. And then they have their own fighting styles. We
can't have the Great Muta just using random punches and kicks. Yeah. He's got to throw out the fucking poison man. The Shinning Wizard, exactly.
Yeah, the Shinning Wizard.
Which is better, the Shinning Wizard or the Sweet Shin music?
So yeah.
Yes.
The Militar Press.
You are right on all accounts.
So yeah. Of course I am. I always am. So the fighting mechanic is weird in Kiwami 2 because it's like the weirdest mix of, well, some of the styles in 0.
Okay.
And also 3. So, like, you have the charging attacks from 0 with the beast style, but now you can charge them basically indefinitely. And then...
Oh.
And you can move around while you charge it. But if you don't let go of, if you don't let go of the button, then you charge for nothing. So there's that. Overall the fighting is good, but then sometimes characters can just freaking like. Sometimes characters' blocks don't really stop your attacks, like you just bounce off of them like in 0. But then sometimes they just stop your attack.
Wait, like it cancels your attack and you return to neutral. That makes blocking useless.
Yes. No, not you blocking, them blocking.
Why would they block if it just helps you?
I don't freaking know, but like it's a thing of like if you're doing like a string on a couple of people, and going between them like I do sometimes. It can be a bit annoying when suddenly one of them just decides, "Oh, I'm gonna stop the string now," and then the string stops, and they're still blocking, but
It doesn't put them
you
at any
have to start it back up.
advantage. Oh, I hate that. I hate that
It doesn't,
stuff.
but it's
Like,
still
why would you
annoying.
even do this? For what reason?
So yeah, that in that part, that's worse about the Dragon engine fighting, and it's also something that
Ooh.
Judgment retains. Which no. So yeah, like Judgment, a lot of people are freaking sucking Judgment's dick. Like it was the best game of 2019 or something.
Yeah,
Or
people
among
who
people
like the
who like the
Yakuza
Yakuza games, but like Judgment.
Fan base of game likes game. Oh shit.
But like the thing is that like people like the thing is they're saying that the freaking fighting mechanic was better than in 6 and Kiwami 2, and it's like I don't see it because it was different, yes, but I don't think it was better because instead of spamming tiger drops and shit, instead of that you were now spamming the one charge attack that you can kill people with one shot. So it's like a slight change.
I don't know. I haven't played Judgment, so I can't really speak.
And the only other change that the only other change that I can see being a thing is juggling people in the air.
Like, that's a big
in the
part
air.
For
I
a
mean,
lot
as
of
in air
people,
combos,
including you. Why are you not a big fan of that?
But like it's not really intuitive because it's not really air combos. It's just Yagami has on a rebound kick or something like that. I don't remember of running into a wall, and so you can use it to juggle people if they're in the air, which I'm not good at freaking launching people in Yakuza games, but so there's that. But also it's like nothing really flows into it because there's just so many recovery frames after you actually hit it. So it's a combo ender.
Let's continue. We've been sitting on Yakuza Kiwami for a bit.
Yeah, so that was Bloodborne,
yes.
Which you were there for. And so
yeah,
watch the video once it comes out, like two months from now. For one, and for two, like I enjoyed Bloodborne more than I thought I would, but
for how long?
It's that like I don't know. Why freaking like 3 hours? That's as long as we played. I mean, with the hardware limitations that we had, it was basically impossible to get past the second boss or like the first actual like.
There are some bosses in that game that I would say
but,
with input lag are genuinely impossible to beat, unless you just are like absurdly overleveled and fucking tank through all their shit. Like, if Soon was here, he'd agree with me on this. But that fucking final boss. The real final boss, not the victory lap boss. He will fuck you. Yeah, I beat him easily, but I didn't have input lag.
Now that I have played...
Also, I was fairly overleveled.
Yeah. So yeah, like now that I have actually played like an actual FromSoft Souls game, I can say that Souls games are okay. They're heavily overrated, but they're fine.
Well, I think
for the most part,
it's going to differ. But so I would say Bloodborne's the fucking best of the Souls games. But Dark Souls runs itself in a very different way from Bloodborne. I can say playing Dark Souls right now, as we speak.
I want to give Sekiro a chance still, because like after I'm gonna assume you didn't watch the video I posted, but after I watched that video of Sonic being modded into Sekiro and just how the game looked aside from Sonic being in it. Like the game looked interesting.
Sekiro looks like a very interesting game. I've heard that it is just the biggest fucking ball buster. Like even the Souls fans are like, holy shit.
The thing is, like, as much as I dislike difficulty for the sake of difficulty, difficulty doesn't really scare. Like, it's not a big thing for me to go like, oh well, this game is supposed to be difficult, so I won't play it. Like, I want to get into Toho as well. It's just that
For some
all
reason,
of Toho is on PC, so
I thought Japan hated
Yeah.
PC games.
But like Sekiro, like the thing is, the thing with freaking Souls games and me is that, like, for one, once again, I dislike difficulty for the sake of difficulty, which Souls sell themselves on that. For one, and for two, like most of the settings that Souls games put themselves into just don't interest me, because I'm not really freaking interested in like medieval fantasy Europe, dark fantasy, or I'm not that much. I'm not as into
There's a lot
Lovecraft
of
as W
Victorian England
is.
there, though, as well.
But Japan, like,
There's a lot of Victorian. Bloodborne's Victorian England plus kind of Bram Stoker, Mary Shelley type horror.
Well, yeah, but like, I'm not as much into Victorian England or Lovecraft
Yeah.
as you are, I guess. Like, I like the art style of Bloodborne. I don't mind the setting, but it, like, I won't buy the game just off of it. And like, but with Sengoku era Japan or somewhere along those lines, I'm more interested because,
Heh,
well, it's not Norse.
there
There's
really
just so
is
much freaking
Skyrim
Vikings
started
right now.
trending. But
Skyrim was about Vikings?
fucking hell, I can't hear anything over like soon cooking ramen or some shit.
I have him muted.
That's probably better for the sake of the recording, honestly.
I-
Soon's quickly becoming the new Aaron.
So yeah, but yes. So yeah, yes, Pink.
Skyrim is super about
Vikings.
Skyrim is very, very Vikings. It is Vikings versus Dragons, the game, and that's the entire concept.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
How did I not pick that up?
The dragon fights fucking suck.
Oh, I know that. I definitely played.
Yeah.
Any fight, all of the fights suck. The combat mechanic is bad.
I will say the Souls games, generally speaking, do use more than just Europe. Though they do mix in a lot of Lovecraft as well. And also there's a lot of Japan. Sometimes there's a little bit of Africa. There's a little bit of China. A little bit of Middle East. I definitely prefer... I just want to get this in real quick.
But
I definitely prefer fantasy settings that have more than just Europe. Or more than just Japan. You know, I like diversity.
Yeah. But yeah, so after playing Bloodborne, I decided, well, I have a Souls game that I haven't played that isn't Lord of the Fallen.
Oh no.
So maybe I'll give it a look.
Oh no.
So I started up The Surge.
Next to nothing, but
So
you
what
told
do
me
you
it
know
was
about
bad.
The Surge, Nubia? Right. Well, no, I actually haven't played The Surge at all. I just
It's also on
claimed it when
Game
it was
Pass.
free. Oh, it might be, yeah. So The Surge
that's
is
weird.
a strictly single-player Souls game. Yeah.
Yes, everyone's
Also
wearing the stupid
sci-fi.
Elysium mech suits with Matt Damon.
It's not even that.
I would
It looks
imagine
like
so.
garbage. It's actually like they tried making it an exoskeleton. By which I mean it is an exoskeleton, but the thing is, like, the armor pieces don't go on it in a way that makes them look good. Like, I don't think people would wear them, even in the context that they were originally supposed to be in, because the story, as far as the story you will hate the game for because it's a big
So
corporation
it's
bad,
Elysium.
but also
Does
like,
nobody else remember
it's
this
like
movie?
it might be. I haven't.
No, I didn't either, but I
I
remember the
didn't see
fucking
it
ads for it.
at
Let me
all.
tell you, because they were playing on every fucking episode of Raw for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like Jodie
Nope, I don't
Foster, but
remember.
fuck every other part of that movie.
But yeah, so basically, it's just big corporation wants to, or makes it seem like they want to save the world. Actually, cause
Oh,
the
you hate when
Terminator
that happens.
uprising.
Yeah.
So Earth is more or less in ruin. If the game is even set
So it's
on
just
Earth,
Terminator.
it's not. They haven't made it clear, but they have made it. Yes, after a while, it is just Terminator because it's just the people have a chip in their brain that makes it so they can control their freaking exoskeleton arms. But then the exoskeleton arms are like, no, human, bad. And so people are now just zombies with the exoskeletons controlling them, like
That's
freaking
actually kind of neat,
the end
though it is too
fungus.
much of a Terminator rip. I've got a follow-up question. One of
Yeah.
the major parts of the Souls games
And
is
so-
that when you die,
yeah.
that actually happens in universe. It's not like a non-canon respawn. What's the justification in universe for why your character can just come back from the dead? Oh. Oh.
None.
Oh.
You just don't die. Yeah, I was waiting for it as well, the explanation, but then I died, and it was just like, oh, you were actually in the med chamber,
Okay.
which
Yeah, there doesn't need to be any explanation for why
Yeah.
for that. I mean, do you have to still retrieve your souls after you die?
yes,
So your character then just lost his money for no reason in universe. Oh, hey, you got
Yes.
pickpocketed. Go fucking get your cash back. Okay.
Exactly where you left it.
Yeah, the fucking guy, the pickpocket just dropped it afterwards. He was cool like that.
so yeah, moving on to the gameplay, it has a lot of
The
soulisms,
Souls knockoff plays a
which
lot like Dark
obvious,
Souls.
but like, but here's the thing that I wanted to move on to. Like, the thing about Souls is, to me, is that I think Souls as a concept is bad, but it's elevated to not be bad by the fact that most Souls games give enough of a shit to make the hitboxes and
Oh
hurtboxes
no!
actually make sense.
What?
And
Oh.
so
You have no
Yeah.
idea how many times I've been in Dark
Yes.
Souls where I've been like, bless me, God of
Go
hitboxes,
ahead.
save my life.
So the thing is, like, with the Surge, I actually looked it up, and like, people other than me have had this problem. Like, with one of the bosses, it's actually well known to be a thing where you can't hit the boss, because you're like a couple of inches away from hitting him. But if the boss slams down his leg, like, I don't know,
Oh.
half a feet away from you, you
Cool.
die. Yeah. So it's like, just make it make sense. Like, clean it up a bit. It's not hard, I don't think. Or even if it is hard, like, I don't think it's too much to ask for the freaking the hitboxes and hurtboxes to line up for it to actually get hit, or like to make sense with the model that you're using. In a mesocore
I'm
game,
terribly
where
curious
dying
how
is constant.
these hitboxes are made when they're like this badly fucked, you know? Like, how does this even happen?
Yeah. And sometimes it's just a thing with normal enemies as well. But then it's really rare, so I just chalk it up to like chance, really. Because like if 9 out of 10 times the hitboxes work, then it just bugged out or something. Like I can't really fault the game for it.
Oh god!
But it is annoying when it happens.
Now try run ruining. That's the real shit. That's the real shit. When it happens
Other
after a
thing that
long
I-
run and you're carrying all the souls ever.
Yeah. And another thing that is how the same like you know how Souls has bonfires and shit like that you know this. Yeah, so the respawn areas in this game aren't as freaking easily recognizable as you'd want them to be, or at least in my opinion. Cause in the second stage, there's a respawn point. By the way, there's only like one respawn point in every stage.
Does it at least have shortcuts?
Yeah. So the one respawn point.
Okay, there we go. That's mitigating.
Yes. I
depends on how good the shortcuts
points,
are.
to be honest.
Like Bloodborne, it's like, oh, here's an elevator that leads straight to the final boss of the level.
Well, yeah. Yeah, in this game, it's like here, there's like 2 seconds of walk.
Oh, wow, great.
Mitigated. Yeah. Like, there are some shortcuts that are good.
Of course they are. Why wouldn't they
But they're
be?
rare. And then there's just the weaponry, and also, so here's the thing. Souls works because, like you have your starting weapon that's shit, but you can pick that equipment up from the enemies and stuff like that. This game, you don't get shit unless you use VETs.
Oh. Of course it does.
So this game has its own version of VETs. That's real time. So you have to do limb targeting while also fighting a Souls enemy. Yeah. And then that only lets you editing, or rather the chance for editing, if you do an execution. Which executions are on a meter in this game. So that, and then even if you do an execution, there's a chance that you won't get shit because you didn't damage the body part enough for it to drop anything. And then, if you even get something, you don't actually get that piece because it's damaged. No, you get components and you get a schematic, so you can craft it.
What even leads to executions? Perfect parries? Oh. Okay.
Just attacking. So that it's fine.
I was about to say, if you only get loot drops from parries, this is already questionable.
Yeah, the executions are the least bad part of this.
See, now I need to actually fucking... You're now forcing me to play this so I can also join in talking with you about how bad this is. Like, now this needs to be a shared experience.
Like, it has its moments when it's fun, but yeah. Like it has its moments when it's fun, and like when it shines through that. Oh yeah, then fun can be had with this game, and then you get shot with by the hammer people whose hammer turns into a gun. But like like it's really rough around the edges sometimes, and it's just like some of the choices are just shit. Like the once again, having to craft equipment, while not bad on its own, is pretty bad when it's your only option to get equipment.
Crafting equipment is pretty bad by itself.
Crafting equipment is pretty bad on its own, but Neo also had it, and in Neo it wasn't a problem because guess what? You get equipment anyway. And that's the thing. In this game, you don't.
Cool.
If it's not a weapon, you don't get it. like weapons, you can only get through the enemies dropping them if you cut their arm off. So weapons cannot be crafted. Armor can only be crafted.
Great.
Yeah. And now let's move on to the weapons. The only weapon type that freaking works at all is the heavy weapon type. Or at least that's the only one I've had any freaking fun with, because most of the other weapon types are just so freaking like not damaging.
That's an argument right there. That's a big Souls argument. That's a very common attitude to go with the heaviest weapons possible in Souls. Yeah. And I think it's actually a meme to say that anyone who picks the speedy weapons
I
is
know,
gay.
but yeah. But like the thing with this iteration, in my opinion, is that like some of the faster weapons can be good. Like with the DLC that came with free with PS Plus, and also there's free DLC just all around. But the weapon I'm thinking of is DLC with the PS Plus, I think. So the weapon with the DLC, you get a staff that has really good DPS. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but until you get a better weapon that either fits your playstyle better, or until you level it up enough for it to actually do damage, even then it still does all right. Contrast that with the dual weapons that you get, like on the second level, the like dual blades. They're basically Baraka blades. They suck ass because they don't have any charge attacks. Their freaking attacks don't really link into each other sometimes. They don't stagger at all, which means that you're gonna eat all of the shit, and they deal 13 damage. Jack shit.
Emily, that's probably not. Some of that stuff, like the stagger, probably isn't as important on bosses, because bosses usually take a lot more to stagger.
Yeah, it's not as important to bosses, but like, you know, if you're like on the second level where I got the dual blades, on the second level, most of the enemies are tanks. Like literally, they're tank classes that you can choose on the start of the game. And so, not being able to stagger them means that you die. Well, that unless you dodge everything, but I have yet to see how to build stamina.
Why?
Because you don't actually level up in this game. So this game has level ups, but not really. Because with the level ups, you don't actually get to upgrade your stats. Instead, with the level ups, your like Iron Man core becomes more powerful, and thus you can use more like energy using augments that you can choose in the menu. But the thing is, like, unless you pick up a stamina augment or like 5, and you have enough slots, of which there are only like 8 in the whole game, from what I can tell, then you can't actually raise your stamina.
That sounds like it could be interesting, but at the same time have serious flaws if they failed to actually put the drops in the right place, which it sounds like they did.
Yeah, some of the drops seem random. Like most of them are around the world, so you can find them, which is fine. But like, you know, sometimes it feels like they just built the game for tank players. Because I've played through the first level twice now, because I have this thing where I restart Souls games like 3 times before I can actually get past the second level, apparently. Did my second restart, went through the first level, now building tank on purpose, and I got most of the same. Actually, I got more augments than I did when I first tried playing, and it's like nearly all of the augments that I picked up on the first level were towards making your character more tanky, which it's a Souls game, so fair enough, but still, like, that's not really encouraging different playstyles.
No, even if you're playing a fast character in Bloodborne or Dark Souls, you still put a ton of points into health.
I mean, but you don't have enough augment freaking slots. Even then. Like once again, you can choose 8. You can choose 8 augments end game. You start out with 4, and then you unlock
Okay.
one slot like every 10 levels.
I see.
So yeah. And then there's also like how the bosses are built, because the first boss heavily favors slow attacks, like slow, heavily damaging attacks. The second boss just freaking doesn't give a shit about
Okay.
slow attacks. Like, he just kills you. There most certainly is a strategy to beat him with slow attacks, but unless you just have freaking 2 weapons, then you're gonna have to freaking die to him a couple times. because while he does have a lot of like startup and shit, like, you know, he's predictable,
Oh
but
god.
also he's the one with the shitty freaking hitbox. So yeah, either you beat him or you die to the
or
hitbox.
die.
I like those options.
Yeah. The one other thing that I wanted to point about the game and the bosses themselves is that you can only really damage the bosses when they're staggered, which, you know, that might be an issue in itself, but you know, they have a pretty obvious way to get them to stagger. The bigger issue is that when they are staggered, they act like map
Cool.
geometry. So if it, yeah, so if you're just not in position, then you just don't hit them sometimes. And I have checked, jumping attacks don't seem to jump over the first bosses.
Oh, the
blade,
jumping attacks,
which is funny.
generally speaking, don't actually have any real invincibility frames in any of the Souls games. They're just for getting that extra distance.
Oh no, I don't mean like that. I mean when he's staggered. Like his freaking big toe is caught on the blade, so he can jump over it. The character is.
I never thought to actually test whether or not your jumping attacks count as an in-game jump, but it makes sense that they don't.
As for the differences between Bloodborne and freaking this game, well, this game obviously copied more of Souls because there's blocking, but also because there's platforming. Thankfully, the platforming so far, I'm only on the second level, but in the first level, platforming was only used for skipping like a portion of the map, which is fine.
So you've chosen death.
Oh right, and W, how does platforming work in Dark Souls? Because that might be something that I need to bring up.
In Dark Souls 1, you hold B to sprint and then you double tap it to jump. But you have to be sprinting in order to jump. So you need to go immediately switch from holding B to double tapping it seamlessly, or else your character will just eat shit. Oh.
Okay, so that's what they copied. Because in this game, you sprint by pressing in the left stick, and then if the game decides that you are sprinting, like for a long enough distance, then if you press it in enough,
that's even worse. That's even worse. That's not a button. That's a fucking stick, dumbasses. You can't double tap that shit.
And the thing is, like, you can still run with B, but you can't jump with B. That's fucking
stupid.
That's specifically just the stick.
So I'll go ahead and note that the later Dark Souls games recognized that was just pointless stupidity, and they made it where you run with B, but you jump by pressing in left stick. Can you do that in the Surge, or are you forced to run with the left stick if you're going to jump at all? Okay, they might have obviously just done it both ways because some people might be into that. I don't know.
Yeah, fair. So yeah, the Surge. There you have it.
It's a Souls knockoff. Sure it is. That's not hard.
Still better than Lords of the Fallen, actually. No, it's not. The freaking Heads of Fate was a better Souls knockoff than
Crash Bandicoot is a better Souls knockoff.
Lords of the Fallen.
What's the dumbest thing you've seen listed as the Dark Souls of blank?
Puyo Puyo is a better Dark Souls.
Oh my god, did someone seriously say Puyo Puyo is the Dark Souls of
Lords of the
Tetris?
Fallen. No, but I can see this. I can see someone saying that. Freaking. I don't remember a lot of
It was such a big headline for so long that it kind of all wound up blending together. Pink, are you sitting on a couple over there?
Am I sitting on what?
You remember that time period when everybody was like, so and so is the Dark Souls of blank?
Oh yeah.
Like, what's the most absurd example of that you can remember?
Ah, lordy.
Everyone and their mother called Cuphead Dark Souls when it came out. Now it's confounding.
Right.
Oh yes, Dark Souls.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I wish Cuphead was on freaking Game Pass. I want to play that game. Yeah. Cuphead would be the freaking running on Pink.
I just want to play it because I want to see if it's genuinely that ball busting. Well, I mean, I've seen footage. I know that it's genuinely that ball busting. I don't need to fucking play it to see proof. I want to take a shot at it. I want to
know how hard it will wreck you on the inside.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like from the freaking shit that I've seen, I feel like it either took off after freaking Metal Slug or Contra, but like I'm not sure which one because the animations look more Metal Slug. But
it seemed like it was kind of doing its own thing, honestly.
Who knows? Yeah, that as well. I'm also not sure why I wanted to call Metal Slug Metal Gear.
I've run into the same issue several times now, actually.
That would be interesting. Metal Guilty Gear Slug.
Guilty Metal. Wait, what?
I don't like the sound of that at all.
Guilty Chains. Wait a second.
Guilty Slug.
Go back. Go back. We've gone too far. All right. We can't go back. This is now the Guilty Metal podcast.
Womp womp.
Bad end.
Oh, well, we need to make a new freaking new logo again.
Hey, don't worry. We'll have you making a new logo every week. I just got my ass kicked by a dog with a sword.
I believe it.
It was OD.
Oh, man. So anyways, Eddie, what else did you do this week?
Right. Let me check my freaking Xbox, because I know that I've done something else, but I don't remember the game. Yeah.
Shadow of Murder.
Oh, right. Exactly. Shadow of Murder.
Did you do big murders?
Yes. Shadow of Murder.
Giant murders.
Yes. Lots of murders.
Right.
Not giant, but...
That waits until Shadow of War.
Orc murders.
Shadow of Wardor. What? That's the name of the series. That's the name of the series now. Shadow of Wardor. Fuck it. Forget the shadow part. It's just Wardor. So anyways, how did you enjoy your totally non-canon Lord of the Rings game?
But I don't like Lord of the Rings anyway, so I don't give a shit about it being canon or not.
Isn't Talion just the most generic Aragon ripoff?
I honestly,
that is totally fair.
I thought he was just Aragorn.
If I were a little kid, I would absolutely just get confused and buy the game because it's got Aragon on the front. which is probably why Italian looks like what he does.
I mean, I bought a game because it. I mean, I bought a game because it had a record on the front, but it was freaking Return of the King, so that was a good game. I like the Lord of the Rings video games usually. I didn't
Oh,
like the
Hobbit
movies,
sucked.
especially not The Hobbit.
Oh god, Pink, have you ever actually even watched the original Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings, or have you only watched The Hobbit?
I've seen the first 2 Lord of the Rings. I never actually got to see the finale.
You poor bastard.
Child me was wildly depressed. I'm pretty sure my parents went to see it in theaters without me. It scarred me for life. Still haven't quite forgiven them for that, but okay.
That's what. That's the only reason you are where you are right now.
Perhaps if they had taken you, you wouldn't be the comic book guy. You'd be the Lord of the Rings guy.
Indeed.
Yeah. You could talk about how those freaking hairy-feeted people walked for 3 books.
So did you enjoy grievously fucking scarring some orcs, Eddie? Oh.
No. I don't like the gameplay.
That's
loop.
fair. I mean, well,
I
it
think
depends.
it's
Do you do
boring.
story mission or do you do the Nemesis mission? Because the story missions in the Shadow games
Both?
fucking suck balls.
Like, I just don't like being in the world. Like, it genuinely doesn't interest me.
No, it
And it's
doesn't
like,
feel
I'm not even looking at
it
it as
doesn't
a
feel
Lord
like
of the
Lord of the
Rings thing.
Rings.
Like, I forgot it. Yeah.
It feels like its own thing. It really shouldn't be Lord of the Rings. It should be its own fucking fictional setting.
Yeah, but it's like, I just don't like how everything flows into each other. I just don't like how the freaking, like, I don't like the fighting mechanic. I think
Well, yeah, it's
ridiculous shit.
Warner Brothers trying to make
For
good on
one.
Batman's engine. We spent a ton of money on this engine. Quick,
Yeah.
somebody make something in it for the love of Christ.
And then I just freaking like I don't know, cause just it's the whole thing that I dislike, the whole gameplay. There's just not really a lot of it that I do like, cause the missions, whether they are story missions or not, aren't really interesting. The Nemesis system is okay, but that's the only thing that I can really compliment about the game.
Like, the game would be dog shit if it weren't for the Nemesis system. I did enjoy in the gameplay that it's like Assassin's Creed on crack in some regards. And that it's like, whoa, what if Assassin's Creed, you just ignored the stealth element entirely and you could just teleport and fucking kill everyone in the room by teleporting? Okay, yeah, I certainly
didn't get
did.
that far.
Hank, you remember those parts of Flash where Reverse Flash basically makes a blur and then everybody in the room's neck snaps?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically you do that. Doesn't fit Lord of the Rings at all, but it looks cool. Also, fucking breaks the gameplay balance, let me tell you.
Yeah, I can imagine. But like, yeah, this is the like 4th time that I gave this game a chance, and it's just like it never catches me with anything that that would make
I could have
it
told you
worth
that
my
game is
while in
going to
my
have no appeal
opinion.
for you.
Because yeah,
There are definitely more anti-addy games, but I mean, it's very clear to me that just having the Assassin's Creed formula is not enough to make a game great. There are Assassin's Creed games you're not a very big fan of. And like the majority of that game is like built on the idea of, the story fucking sucks and there's no real drive to go do it. You make your own fun, which is the kind of game you hate. I mean, your part of your whole thing is you want at least something like at the very least story to drive you in these games. And I'll give Shadow of Mordor credit is that it's the only game that has actually done that in a way that forms a meaningful story that can nonetheless make for a great experience. But I can see where that still wouldn't appeal to you.
Yeah, it's just like that. For the most part, like I could care about Talion. I cared when I first booted the game up, but then it was just like, okay, now level up, and I'm like,
Yep.
okay, no.
There's a lot of that going around. A lot of fucking grinding for skill points.
Yeah, which is the biggest detriment to this game in my opinion. Because like I wish I could do cool shit. I wish I could have fun with this game, and I could have fun with this game, but like for one, grinding skills is one of the things I least like in freaking video games, or grinding in general, really. And for two,
Yeah.
the whole setting of the game is my least favorite setting that Assassin's Creed ever uses. It's the city is occupied and everybody's trying to kill you shit.
Right, because you love social stealth.
I like social set, and I also like not having to fight every 2 seconds. Like I like it when fights, either mean something or like small skirmishes. But I don't like it when it's just like, oh, I need to run because they're already in my ass. And there's like
Hey, you
50
must
of
have played
them.
a different Brotherhood than I did, because I was getting into fights all the time.
Probably. Because I like, you kill the guards on the rooftops, but like I didn't get into a lot of trouble with the guards otherwise.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I also played the first Uncharted game. I didn't finish it yet, but I wonder, like, I have like 5 more chapters to go, which are like a half an hour overall.
Question for Pink. Pink, did you finish the original PS3 Uncharted trilogy?
Not the trilogy. I completed the third game. I got probably halfway in the first game and didn't play the second one.
Okay, that's really weird.
It is really weird. It's because I kind of started in reverse, because the PS3 that I got came with Uncharted 3, so I played that. Then I got the first one, played through that. Then I bought the second one. Then I moved.
So, Pig,
See,
how far did you get in the first game? Like which chapter? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I would not be able to remember for the life of me.
So yeah, go ahead, W.
I did rent the trilogy when it first came out on PS4 and start up Uncharted 1. And I was like, boy, this sure is a fucking 7th generation AAA game, isn't it? Let's see, we got parkour, we got shooting, we've got ethnically ambiguous antagonists.
So there's a lot of games that I can fall asleep to. Uncharted, I was recording Uncharted because I was planning on reviewing it. I'll probably still review it, but like Uncharted is one of the few games that literally nearly put me to sleep while playing it.
I'm so sad that Soon's not here, because Soon hates these fucking games and would be so happy to join in with you on criticizing them.
The freaking gameplay loop of those games is worse than the freaking like the. It's a similar issue to Shadow of Mordor that I have had, but like it's amplified to the end extent, because it's like there's no freaking 2 seconds to actually give a shit about the setting or the characters, because you take 2 steps and you're already getting shot at.
And the shooting doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't. And after a while, I legitimately, like, you know what I started doing? I started running up to people and waylaying them to death.
Yes, absolutely. Like, contrast it with something like Gears or the classic Max Payne games as third-person shooters, where the shooting feels fucking good. So that even if the story's crap, it's like, well, at least I can just shoot people.
I didn't like the shooting in Gears either.
It depends on which gun you're using.
I guess. I think I used the basic SMG for the most part. That felt like shit.
Oh yeah, that gun does feel like shit. That was
All right.
a bad choice. Anyways, continue.
So yeah, boy, does that game just exist? So it's like really there's just not a lot of the game to talk about, because the story does happen, but it's not really there. Like it's weird to convey it in words, but the story doesn't really matter because you're not really paying attention to the story that's going on, because it's just gonna result in you getting shot at in like 3 seconds anyway. So it's like the story is generic anyway, but
It's Indiana Jones.
yeah, it's Indiana Jones. By the way, I don't like Indiana Jones either. I don't dislike.
That's a little,
Yeah.
If your thing is just like adventure isn't your thing, I can get that. But Indiana Jones does have some really clever and fun moments. Like, one of the best moments in all of action cinema is the fucking moment of the guy coming up with a sword, doing the big kata, and then Indy just fucking shoots him.
Yeah, no, it has its moments. I'm just not the biggest fan, and I also like. And I liked Lara Croft before all she did was whine. But like Nathan Drake
joins in at the sound of Lara Croft.
But freaking like Nathan Drake just isn't. He's just not. He's
both of you were trying to talk at the same time.
Oh wait, Soon is talking.
Yeah.
He's still muted on my end. There we go.
But yeah, that scene with the man with the gun, that wasn't scripted. That was an unscripted moment. And Harrison Ford just like shot
a man.
He just shot the he
killed him. George Lucas had to bury the body.
But yeah, he just ended up shooting the guy in the movie because
he had dysentery.
He was so overheated by that point that he could not do the actual fight scene that they had planned.
Also, he had dysentery because the water at the hotel was infected.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's one of the best unscripted moments in any movie.
Yeah. Though admittedly, people tend to idealize unscripted moments, I think.
Yeah, but
particularly this generation.
That's why I said that was like one of the best unscripted moments. Yeah. Because it's an amazing moment and it's not scripted. It's not amazing because it's unscripted. It's just amazing and it's unscripted.
I know, I'm just making a comment saying, like, there are a lot of people who are like, oh, unscripted moments are the best moments, and I'm like, fuck you. Have you watched some of the Marvel movies lately? Because a lot of that shit's unscripted, and it just detracts from the drama.
Oh, yeah, the unscripted moments in Marvel movies are terrible.
I have famously huge turds. That's one of my least favorite lines in all of film history.
Ha, ha, ha. Hilarious.
Right, so soon you were summoned because I was trashing on the freaking Uncharted.
Oh wait, were you? I wasn't here for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that I wish you were there for that because I knew you would have loved it.
But yeah, so Nathan Drake just doesn't freaking exist as a character. He's not really. Because like, yeah, he has a mouth. Like, there's not much to say about him as a character in the first game because it's just like is generic action movie protagonist number 500.
Yes, he's a generic sexy man, and that's why I love him.
He has a mouth and he knows how to use it.
Freaking,
I can't remember like any of the Uncharted games, honestly. They're like the Iron Man trilogy.
Yeah, very unmemorable.
I remember Iron Man 2. I remember Iron Man 2 because of the freaking guy with the whips, the Mandarin, I think. Then that sucked.
He didn't have.
No, I remember like what happens, but I can't remember like which game or movie it was a part of. I just remember the broad strokes. I can't tell the movies or games apart from one another.
Can I just point out, after Addy said Dark Souls is all European, I just had a fight of me being a samurai versus a bunch of ninjas. Moving on. So, Uncharted.
Yeah, Uncharted.
How about all those set pieces, huh?
Yeah,
There sure are a lot of them.
Uncharted set pieces are pretty amazing. It's like the
Some
only
of,
thing the game has going for it.
some of them are good. Like, I haven't actually seen a whole lot of them in the first game, I don't think. Aside from freaking doing parkour, which is annoying because they kill you because Prince of Persia. Like, Prince of Persia was fun. I still have yet to play through the freaking first game because I just don't freaking like I can't sit through it for whatever reason, even though I like it. It's just yeah. I did play the one with the freaking movie guy though. That was fun.
Yeah.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal, but
Was
I've
that
never
the
played
one-
Prince of Persia in my life.
Was that the 3D one?
Yeah, I'm talking about the 3D ones. I did play the
Right.
first game when it was 2D, but yeah. So Uncharted. Boy, the
Sarah
guns suck.
Bareilles.
What was that?
Boy, the guns suck.
Guns suck. Yeah, in Uncharted. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you can choose between a pea shooter, a slightly bigger pea shooter, or an actual gun, but it only has 2 bullets.
The way to play an Uncharted is just to do like
Melees?
stealth the whole way through.
Yeah,
You aren't supposed to actually shoot them. You're supposed to stealth them.
how I've been playing in the shootouts that the game puts me in through the story is that I just run up to people and kill them with melee because it's more efficient.
Yep.
Like the gunplay is
okay. Follow-up question to that. When this game has melee, does it have actual animations or does Nathan just flail?
It's got actual animations in the later ones.
It's got actual animations in the first one.
Oh, does
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, you have
Are
to
they
be
like?
Yeah.
I know in the later ones the animations are much more fluid and like interact with the environment around you. But like in the earlier ones, weren't they just like very what's the word? Like
Just pistol whip them?
strict animations like in the earlier WWE games?
I'm not sure about the earlier WWE games, but it was stricter. Well, possibly
Right.
stricter. I don't know. I haven't played the freaking second and third games, but how it works in Uncharted 1 is that Nathan flares his hand once or twice, I think, to see if there's an actual enemy before him, and if there is, then the flailing animation turns into a punch that locks both of them into place, and then yeah.
Is it Uncharted 1 that has the skateboard boss? Or is
I
that-
haven't seen it
That's
yet.
Tomb Raider one, Chief.
That's a Tomb Raider? Okay.
Yeah.
They look a lot like that Tomb Raider game and the first Uncharted because they're both like dealing with like demon monkeys or whatever in ancient Mayan ruins.
Fucking okay, sure. I didn't even know there was the supernatural in Uncharted, but okay.
Oh yeah. There is a lot of supernatural stuff in Uncharted.
Don't you spend the Tomb Raider reboot fighting fucking samurai demons?
Yes, in the second
Yes.
game. I think was it the first one or the second one?
It was the first one.
Yeah, the
Oh,
first
yeah.
one has the boss is like a samurai ghost summoned by an ancient Polynesian goddess. And you also have to fight the ancient Polynesian goddess who is like trying to sacrifice your best friend.
Well, that's cool of her. Didn't like her anyway. She didn't give good birthday presents.
Oh yeah, gotta sacrifice those.
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
Uncharted has
Gotta go.
Uncharted has quite a bit of supernatural stuff. There's ghosts, there's like demon monkeys. You can like turn people into zombies in one of the games. There's like zombie stuff.
Are there
There's
Nazi
magic.
zombies?
Not Nazi zombies, but there are zombies. There's like Mayan zombies.
Cool. That's actually a different take on zombies, not Mayan zombies.
Yeah, and then there's magic and Shangri-La. Shangri-La. There we go.
Ah, okay.
I am
Is there
terrible at
anything
pronunciation.
is there anything on the level of that time Lara Croft wielded Mjolnir?
No,
Ah, shit.
there's also
Well,
no. There's also no T-Rexes, unfortunately.
Okay, that one was a little more confusing, I gotta admit. Remember that time period where everything on the PS1 is like, hey, here's a T-Rex, and what the fuck, why?
Yeah, but wait, did you know that in Tomb Raider there's like a shadow Lara Croft?
Which one? I don't, the
No,
original.
I think it's in multiple games. The shadow Lara Croft.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, it's like her arch nemesis because I don't know. It's
I
like
thought her
Persona
arch nemesis
Shadows.
was the I thought her arch nemesis was the freakily skinny blonde Southern CEO lady.
It depends on the game,
Her nemesis is
Okay.
Moriarty.
but
Obviously.
I think Shadow Lara Croft is it actually reappears more than any other nemesis.
Huh, all right.
So yeah,
Okay, anyway.
going back to Uncharted. Uncharted has 2 jet ski sections so far. Both of them suck because the jet ski controls suck ass.
Oh man, the 7th gen and its fucking vehicle sections.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least the freaking jet ski sections don't have the ammo system.
Heh.
Yeah, freaking I forgot her name. Whatever. Like, yeah, you ran out of grenades. You need to freaking run up and punch them, but we're on jet ski.
Punch their jet ski.
Uncharted really loves those like high-speed chase scenes.
Well, it's basically trying to be an action movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that cops.
The worst one is the one where you're like on a train convoy and you have to like, no, is it a train? No, it's like a Jeep convoy and you like jump from one Jeep to the next. And you continue going forward and sometimes you trade off on motorcycles. And oh my gosh, that one killed me so many times just because of the bullshit high speed stuff.
Was that Uncharted 1 or Uncharted 4?
That was Uncharted 4.
Okay.
Although there's a similar one in Uncharted 3.
Okay, that makes sense. You've played all of them.
I've played Uncharted 2, 3, and 4, not 1.
Okay. I was about to say, you hate these games. That's why you've played all of them.
I only finished Uncharted 4, though.
Okay, that makes sense.
But no,
I know that is the one you vocally like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Uncharted 1, really freaking boring.
All right.
Yep.
And I think that's all I did, so yeah, you can move on.
Uncharted 2 is where it gets better. Not good, but better.
Is Uncharted like the Michael Bay series of gaming?
Yes. Do you want me to expand on that, or?
No, I think I've pretty well summarized it. I think that's all I needed to say. That said everything that needed to be said. Anything else, Abby?
Nope, I said we can move on.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I don't remember what I did with my week. It was pretty shit in a lot of regards, between my computer breaking, having to split up with one of my closest friends, it being overcast weather all fucking week. It was a pretty bad week. With that said, I got to put more time into Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 1, because I have no idea why, but I'm now set on beating Dark Souls 1 on New Game Plus, partially because I found out there was some shit I didn't find. So, I'm not going to talk about it for too long, because I think you guys are probably sick of me talking about Dark Souls every week, because I'm on a Dark Souls binge right now. I will say, Dark Souls 2, there's a very interesting divide with the difficulty here. A lot of people get really pissed at Dark Souls 2. The avowed Dark Souls fans who insist that no game is too hard for them, and they are, in fact, the best gamers in history, often complain about Dark Souls 2 being too hard because there are a lot of crowd fights. Despite the fact that there are also a lot of crowd fights in Dark Souls 1. My confusion is immense. With that said, Dark Souls 2 is kind of following along the same notes as Dark Souls 1. There's a lot more quality of life features. Can I say one odd quality of life feature from Dark Souls 1 I've noticed that no other fucking RPG does? And it's weird that Dark Souls 1 is like the only one that does it.
What's that?
So most RPGs, right? If you go up and smack somebody with an axe, they're going to be pissed at you for the rest of forever, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, Dark Souls 1 is the only RPG I've run into that I can immediately recall that has an NPC that you can go and talk to him, and he's like, hey, if you pay me $100, I'll make everybody forget about the time you smacked him in the face with an axe.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can pay for amnesia. Nice.
Yeah, that's bizarrely forgiving for Dark Souls, isn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit. I cannot think of any other game that does or has such a feature, so yeah.
I guess Assassin's Creed with like the bounty mechanic.
I mean, kind of, but that's closer to like GTA's wanted system.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I mean, if you go up and hit the merchant in the face and steal some of his shit, and then you go pay for him to forget, and then he'll be like, hey, what's going on, buddy? So, okay. Good to know. You have now got brain damage. That's how hard I punched you. There's another odd quality of life feature. There are a couple unique enemies in the game that do not respawn. So there's a problem with that in RPGs. Most enemies tend to drop loot. A lot of enemies drop unique loot. There are some games where if you kill an enemy, all of a given enemy that doesn't respawn and you didn't get their loot, get fucked. Wait until New Game Plus. Whereas Dark Souls actually is nice enough to make it where if you kill the last of a given enemy in the entire game world, he will drop everything that you have not gotten from other ones. Which can be a little stupid sometimes. You killed the last Black Knight in the world. You got Black Knight helmet, Black Knight armor, Black Knight gauntlets, Black Knight halberd, Black Knight sword.
He drops everything.
This guy was fucking packing, apparently.
I wish that was a normal feature.
That should be a feature in every RPG.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, God. It's weird playing after playing Bloodborne because Bloodborne was such a grind-heavy game. Dark Souls is an anti-grinding game. It really is. It's weird to play.
That's great.
With that said, playing through Dark Souls 1 again on New Game Plus, I gotta say, it's funny how the Souls games, there's an odd thing with them. See, most video games, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, right?
Yep.
Souls games, it's not. Like, this is another thing people complain about with Dark Souls 2, is that Dark Souls 2, in the very first, like, cutscene you get, there's a bunch of cackling old witches who say, oh, you're gonna die and lose all your money over and over and over and over again, ha ha ha. And this is apparently something people got really pissed about because it misses the point of Dark Souls. Which I think that a lot of people then miss the point of Dark Souls. Because I would say there's a very big part of the Dark Souls community that the entire appeal of the series is, ha ha, you died. Like, wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah. I thought that
Yep.
was like what Dark Souls was known for.
Like, when they released Dark Souls 1 on PC, they subtitled it Prepare to Die Edition.
Exactly.
But Dark Souls 2, for one thing, was not made by Miyazaki, who was the creative mind behind every other Souls game. In fact, I think it was almost entirely made by a different dev team. But Dark Souls 2 was also very clearly a Souls game that was built upon the successes of Dark Souls 1, so they didn't know what they were doing quite yet.
Cool. Have you played Demon Souls yet?
I don't have a PS3, and they haven't ported that one to PS4, at least not yet.
Cool.
I have heard it's a fucking pain. I've heard it's easier than Dark Souls, but it's more inconvenient.
I heard it's the best one.
It's different strokes for different folks. It's got some. I've seen some crazy shit in that game, but there's crazy shit in each of the games, honestly.
Yeah.
what I was getting around to, it's about the journey, it's about the destination and not the journey with Dark Souls, because the journey is fucking painful. It is a lot of learning. And in a lot of ways, Dark Souls teaches you in a way that other games wouldn't.
Yeah.
In some ways that I think are flawed. So I've mentioned before that there's a section where there's a bit of loot dangling in front of you. You go to get it, and a slime drops on your head and eats your asshole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I figured out that is a gotcha moment, definitely. But what that's supposed to tell you is this section of the game, there's going to be a lot of slimes. Check the ceilings before you walk forward.
Mm-hmm.
And there are lots of games that have that kind of thing. But what other games would do is,
It's a stealth tutorial.
yes, it's a stealth tutorial. Dark Souls loves stealth tutorials. That's a thing I've noticed. But how many other games can you think of where they would do that, but instead of it being you watch an NPC walk forward, get a slime dropped on them. So you kind of have to accept that Dark Souls teaches you a lot of times through that, which makes it fucking painful, because that's a death that you didn't deserve. There was no fucking way that you should have known to check the ceiling in this part of the map, because nowhere else in the entire game do you need to check the ceiling. But it fucking teaches you. So next time when you play through that level again, then you know to fucking check the roof. So every Souls game becomes a lot more fun to play on every playthrough after the first. It's about the destination and not the journey. It's just a weird thing I've noticed about the series.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's just about all I'll have to say this week, because, again, we're kind of overrun with Souls lately because I've been playing so much of it. But other than that, I can't think of anything that I've put in a lot of time with. This particular week, I believe, I've been recording with you guys, and I don't even know what I did this week. You know, I think I spent a lot of it watching YouTube videos, and boy, that is unfulfilling, isn't it?
Yep, I've been doing the same thing. When I'm not like traveling, I'm watching YouTube.
Yeah, but when you're like out of town, that's pretty much the only thing you can do.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't be like, all right, I brought my entire PS4 all the way.
I mean, technically, my sister's boyfriend has like Overwatch on PlayStation 4, but that's it.
Ha!
So I'm not doing anything with that.
Welcome to the hard meta. Have a good time. Do you play Reinhardt? No? Get fucked. Ah. Yeah, it's like... I want to hear what Addy has to say about this, because I think Addy probably watches the most YouTube out of all of us. But, like, doesn't it seem like YouTube, when watching YouTube videos, when you look back on your day or your week, like, the YouTube videos feel the most, like, wasted time?
Nah,
Oh, okay.
not really. But the most of like the thing is that with the people that I watch, there has been a drought going on, so
Oh,
there's also that.
I probably spent like an hour watching memes anyways, so, you know.
Yeah.
I spent like freaking the last 2 days just binge watching lazy game reviews because there's nothing being uploaded. Like there is shit being uploaded, but it's not interesting. So why the hell bother?
Yeah. I've been spending most of my days like just trying to find news, which the only news that's going on is Iran, honestly. In video games there's jack shit. In movies there's really jack shit.
They're both transitioning is the problem.
Yeah.
Because movies were transitioning from phase 3 to phase 4 for MCU, because of course the MCU is really the only thing going on in cinema for like a century.
Yep. Although there is New Mutants. New Mutants got a trailer, I guess.
Yeah, but who cares?
And it still looks like trash.
I didn't even bother watching. And in gaming, we're transitioning generations.
Yep. Like, we kind of know all of the games that are going to come out this year at this point, except for the ones that are for next generation, and we don't know anything about when next generation is going to start giving us actual information.
It's got to be soon. The PS5 logo came out.
Yeah, the PlayStation 5 had like the most anticlimactic announcement of any console ever, I think. They were just
because everybody already knew, though.
Yeah. They were just like, hey, here's our logo. We're not going to tell you anything else. Bye.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I think they're still not sure what they want to do.
Yeah. Although, did you guys see the video that leaked of like PlayStation 5 load times?
I saw the Spider-Man thing.
Is it good or bad?
It's so good.
I've only seen the Spider-Man thing.
So they had it like side by side with the PlayStation 4 Pro at like some convention or something where they were like advertising to like developers or something, right? And they had it side by side with the PS4 going like showing like loading times through like open world exploration at really high speeds. And on the PlayStation 4 Pro, it took like 28 seconds for it to go through the entire thing, like loading wise. And on the PlayStation 5, it took 0.8 of a second.
Oh man.
Yep, that's solid state drives for you.
Yeah, to do the same.
I got a fucking external one for my. Sorry.
Yeah, except like the SSD card that the PlayStation 5 is going to have is way better than any other SSD on the market. Like they're using some experimental SSD card that's not available anywhere else.
Yeah, it's something like MVE or something like that. SSD, like not even normal consumer SSD.
Yeah, they developed their own SSD that is way superior to any other SSD. So it's going to have like the fastest load times of anything.
Yeah, and even like an external consumer SSD like the one I have still has lowered the load times on Warhammer 2's campaign from like full on 4 or 5 minutes to 50 seconds.
Yeah. So like, man, PlayStation 5 is going to be crazy. We're not going to have like any load times, like at all.
That's a pretty big feature. I'm still really waiting on the rumor of backwards compatibility.
Yeah,
combat.
They've already confirmed PlayStation 4. They'll probably have PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1. PlayStation 3 is really the big question because of the PlayStation 3's really weird hardware.
PlayStation 2 also had pretty fucking weird hardware.
Yeah, but it's clearly easier to work with than the PlayStation 3 because the PlayStation 4 was able to have PlayStation 2 games.
That's true. I mean, there's still PlayStation Now, which I need to look into. Like, there are so many games that have not left the PS3, and the PS3 is the only way of accessing.
PlayStation Now might be decent by the time PlayStation 5 comes out. They'll probably be able to substantially.
I wish PS Now was a thing here. Like they're still advertising it and shit, but it's not actually available.
That's fucking stupid. I don't understand that. Are they telling you to move to another country to get PS Now? Become a fucking expatriate for your video games, nerd. Also, can you tell us some of Hungary's national secrets? That'd be cool.
But yeah, some of the cool stuff that the PlayStation 5 will have is they'll be adding 2 back buttons. Like instead of, you know how like there's the R3, L3 buttons that games barely ever use because it's like awkward to press them? R3, L3.
No, because they're not awkward to press.
R3, L3 being the analog
you mean
sticks.
yeah.
They're just like a little bit awkward.
Yeah. Okay, I was confused.
And you can't like press them while moving or anything. Well, now they're going to switch those to extra buttons on the back of the controller.
That's interesting.
The extra buttons are called ZR and ZL.
You're not wrong.
I hate the Nintendo controllers.
I hate that you're not wrong.
But yeah.
What the
Also,
fuck is Nintendo do what Nintendo do.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna wait like freaking 3 or 4 years until I switch to the next gen, just because, well, for one, money, and for two, if it doesn't have back compat, then I don't
I'll
give a shit.
probably wait.
I
I'll
can
probably
If
wait.
it has
wait
universal
slightly.
back compat, it's fucking day one purchase.
Yeah, probably. I'd see if I can do something to get it on day one if it's a universal back
Yeah.
compat.
I'll
Like,
probably
excuse-
wait a year.
No, fuck that. I ain't waiting. I have the size of my PS4 and PS2 library is fucking ridiculous.
Do you know how much backyard wrestling I can play in that year,
Backyard
dude?
Wrestling 2 in 4K on a fucking solid state drive with no loading times. That means I don't have to stare at the pictures of Tara Patrick they put on. God, there will never be anything dumber.
I feel like there's something dumber, but it's not by a long shot.
Yeah. Oh wait, hang on, Laser.
Like something like
I got
Jackass
it,
the
I got
video
it.
game or
Fucking
something.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh right, Lisa. Yeah.
Just mentioning Leisure Suit Larry's name makes me feel dirty.
Yeah, ew. Gross.
Oh man, like how many fucking games are there that Universal Back Compat would be putting in fucking 4K that have never even dreamed of the possibility?
Sengoku
Sengoku
Basara,
Basara, yes.
the first one.
Uh,
Freaking okay, listen to this. Freaking crisp 4K models of SVR08.
Yes. That was already in HD though, because other generations.
No, I have it on PS2.
I would
So-
love to see some of the derpier
So no.
PS1 WWE games in 4K though.
Crash Bandicoot 1 in 4K.
That would be great. See, I appreciate. See, there's some PS1 jank that I absolutely love for how jank it is. Crash 1 is one of those chief games.
Okay, if PS1 backwards compatibility is a thing, I might actually buy a physical copy of Strider 2. That game is
Hang
fun.
on, PS1 Harry Potter. Get PS1 Hagrid in there.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Get
No.
PS1 Hagrid in there. He can't be stopped now. He's in 4K.
He's practically in our world. He's coming out of the TV right now.
No. It's so much worse than I imagined.
Oh, freaking imagine 4K Tekken 5 with SharePlay.
Stop. My dick can only get so erect. Oh my god, PS2 and PS1 games in share play.
As we see,
CVS2,
we're freaking
CVS2.
yeah, CVS 2.
CVS
That's what I was going to say.
Time splitters. You'd get pissed, but time splitters.
Basara Cross.
Oh.
Freaking since region locking is not a thing, I could actually import the freaking PS2 Soul Eater and Basara fighting
Soul
games.
Calibur 3.
That would be fun. Yeah, that.
Oh man, who else?
Def Jam Fight for New York without the game hopefully crashing on system.
Yeah. Who else remembers that Grand Theft Auto San Andreas had co-op?
Me. It was terrible.
I have a disc behind me. It doesn't work anymore, but it's there.
Right, but Grand Theft Auto San Andreas PS2 copies fall out of fucking trees. I could go and fucking buy
Yeah.
one for $4 at the mom and pop shop right now. I haven't because I'm not a big GTA fan, but it's a possibility.
Yeah. The possibilities are endless.
They really are.
Dude, Silent Hill
Silent
2.
Hill 2 in 4K. Oh my god, that's a dream. Because the HD remake was so bad. Imagine
You boot it up. You boot it up, and it's actually just PT.
Oh, don't make me sad. Admittedly, Death Stranding turned out to be Death Stranding, so maybe it might have been a secret blessing, but you know.
Yeah.
Okay. I get the part. Like, how many games are there on the PS1, PS2, and PS3 that have just never been ported and are still nonetheless considered to be classic? And people are just sitting there.
Oh shit,
Quite
ton.
a lot. Quite a lot.
What'd you say?
I said quite a lot.
Okay, I thought you were naming a specific game called Cried a Lot. I was like, what the fuck is Cried a Lot?
Like, one example I can think of is Lord of the Rings, the RTS one. That one's considered a classic RTS by a lot of people, and yet you can't get it on any modern console, and you can't get it on Steam or any of the PC stores.
Why would you not be able to? The PC is the best platform to play RTSs.
Well, you can't get it on Steam. It's not on Steam.
They never did the fucking licensing run out.
Maybe. That's the only thing I can think
the
of.
enemy of good good fucking tie-in games is licensing. I swear.
But yeah, you can't get the Lord of the Rings RTS that's considered a classic RTS. You also
Battle for
can't.
Middle Earth.
Yeah, Battle for Middle Earth. Is Black and White not on Steam either?
I could tell you that pretty much any Peter Molyneux game other than Fable isn't on Steam. So far as I'm aware.
Because Black and White was actually a really good game.
Really, a good Peter Molyneux game. Are you not lying to me?
Peter Molyneux used to be a good game developer until he went batshit crazy.
Yeah, I'll believe you.
Before Fable, he was actually really well respected as one of the best game developers. Black and White is amazing. It's the best God game on the market.
It still amazes me that that's a genre. Like every time you say God game, I'm like, what's that? I'm still confused.
God games are basically city builders where you also have the ability to drop nukes.
So SimCity.
Okay.
Yeah, SimCity is a God game.
Cities Architect did actually add the ability to drop in disasters.
I know. That's why I'm saying that it was a God game.
Oh, okay.
But Black and White was amazing because, it was a God game where you, also had, a monster. And the monster mechanic was really, really cool. It was just a really, really good game. And there's nothing else like it.
All right. Oh, man. There is one problem with this that I foresee. It would be a problem for me and not for you guys. Universal back compat would instantly raise the value of all PS1, PS2, PS3, and PS4 games.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Stock up on it right while you can.
Yeah. that is actually what my family has been trying to convince me to do, and I've been busy with Christmas, but yes, that is a definite consideration for 2020.
So here's the thing. It's an issue for you. It's not an issue for me because the games I want to buy are freaking $200 anyway. Why? I don't know why Fatal Frame 2 costs $200, but it does.
Just buy.
I don't either. I'm pretty sure I could get it for cheaper.
Just buy all of the PS2, PS1, and PS3 games that you want, in just expectation that that's what's going to happen.
Absolutely, I'll start fucking hoarding them. I'll buy games I already have on the Xbox 360, but again for PS3. I don't even own a fucking PS3.
Dude, for 2 years I've been thinking about buying a PS3 just because it's not region locked, and so I could get the freaking Japanese only Sengoku Basara whole series remastered collection or whatever the hell they had, where they had all of the games up to the latest version of 3 before they moved on to 4.
Oh, apparently Sony acquired a studio that they're going to announce soon.
Oh, I got hopes.
I wonder who it's going to be.
Capcom, obviously.
No, it's not going to be Capcom.
Yeah, we've acquired a new studio. It's called EA. I don't know if you ever heard of them. Oh man,
Imagine if they announced that they acquired a new studio. They actually just bought Toby Fox.
okay. I've got a follow-up question. How many fucking games on PS1, PS2, PS3, and PS4 had hellish loading times?
Yes,
The PS5's fucking solid state drive would fix.
all of them.
Because I think of Resident Evil Outbreak as a fantastic game with absolutely awful loading times.
The worst loading times that I have experienced that wasn't freaking wrestling game related was GTA San Andreas, I think. But that's the only one that I remember anyway.
I feel like the GTA games are cheating because you only have to do the loading screen once.
I wonder if they'll finally acquire Insomniac.
They really should.
Like, they might as well at this point.
I mean, I'm trying to think of ones that they've got established relations with in the past.
Like, Insomniac, I think they used to own
I can't see them getting from.
right?
They might still. I don't keep up on it.
They don't anymore, but I think they used to. They don't anymore. I know that because they made Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, you're right.
But otherwise,
game.
like, the only other stuff they've made is like PlayStation games, like Resistance, Spyro, Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man. Like, they've made
you're right.
very little multi-platform games. Or actually, I don't think they've made any multi-platform. They've made like all exclusives for PlayStation and then one exclusive for Xbox. Which
It's
flopped.
an interesting way to live.
Yep. The Xbox exclusive flopped so bad that they'll probably never go back.
Yeah, we played Sunset Overdrive with Pink. Though I was not there for that, but yeah. Pink, do you remember that game?
I do. It was terrible.
Insomniac is monogamous. They just had a temporary breakup with Sony.
They cheated on Sony.
Now, it'd be cheating if it was multi-platform.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
They had a bad breakup, but and they tried other, they tried other people. It didn't really work out, and they agreed, yeah, it's for the best they stick together. Oh man. Soon, I've got a question. Was Legend of Dragoon ever made HD remastered?
Once, I think.
In HD?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that the copy I got on PlayStation 3 wasn't HD.
Oh, it was at the very least put on PS3. Okay.
It
What
was on PlayStation 3. You could buy it on the PlayStation Store like a bunch of other PlayStation 1 classics.
Oh, okay. What about the original Tomb Raiders?
The original Tomb Raiders? Probably. I mean, there was like the Tomb Raider collection, so I guarantee that they got remade into PlayStation 3.
Okay.
All of the Tomb Raider games came out with a collection during the PlayStation 3 days.
We are getting one step closer to preventing the whole fucking weird, what's the word for it? The problem with old games becoming incredibly inaccessible.
Yeah. Yeah, we're one step closer to eliminating freaking emulation piracy.
We just need to like remake all of the games like the Resident Evil games are remade.
Yeah, I mean, but do you want to put dev power into making new games or remaking old games?
I mean, new games, obviously.
Yeah.
I
There's
feel
a serious flaw to that idea.
I actually don't mind how Ubisoft does their remasters, like, by which I mean how they do with the people doing them, as in, like I like the idea of we're working on a big new game, so while we're working on that, here's an old game, but with a new coat of paint.
I mean, honestly,
It's better
that's
than
probably
nothing.
that's probably what Resident Evil is doing right now. Honestly, Resident Evil 8 is almost assuredly coming down the pipes. It's just that they're padding for time with RE2 and RE3,
Yeah.
and
And
also making their money off the RE engine.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's the right way to go about it. Because then you preserve the old games, but also you can get some more money while you work on the big game.
I would like Silent Hill to get one of those kind of remasters though.
It already did. It was shit.
No, I know that. I
It's
mean,
saying
like
remake.
a remake
Right,
on the
remake,
level.
yeah.
A remake on the
Remaster
level of
versus
Resident
remake.
Evil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remaster versus remake here.
Yeah.
Silent Hill, the original Silent Hills in HD, like the fucking art on those games would be genuinely nightmarish for a lot of people. I don't know if people could deal with it. Like, it was disturbing enough in bad graphics. Could you fucking imagine, like, the weird latex condom monsters of Silent Hill 2 in 4K, Addy?
Yeah, Addy.
Yeah, me.
It is such an impulsive thing of me fucking up names that I got Addy's name right, but then I was like, wait!
But yeah.
Oh, God. The abstract Addy in 4K. I don't want
Oh
to.
no.
Oh, no.
Dude, the pistol room in 4K, no.
Oh, that entire room is bad, honestly. Everything
Yes.
involved.
Frickin'. Yeah.
Would we have
Good.
to see the Pyramid Head rape in 4K?
Yes.
The Pyramid Head rape actually might be one of the scenes that I think was enhanced by the bad graphics because you can't tell what he's doing.
The game,
Yeah.
the game switches over to freaking PS1 graphics. Not even the original one, it's worse.
Whereas in 4K, it would be very obvious what he's doing.
His dick isn't out; he's just humping it. Admittedly,
He can dry hump a seal, yeah.
Did PlayStation 1 even have the capability of having, like, a penis? Like, I mean, they're polygons.
Silent Hill 1 was the only Silent Hill on PS1, and Silent Hill 1 didn't have Pyramid Head.
Right. PlayStation 2 would have.
Yeah, PlayStation 2 certainly had the possibility for penis. It had Leisure Suit Larry. It had the possibility for penis. If that wasn't as vulgar as it was, I would say that's the podcast title.
I kind of want a freaking Silent Hill 4 remaster remake because I'm just really interested in that game for whatever reason.
I am too.
But yeah, I think I'm going to wait a year on PlayStation 5 regardless of backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Just because I already have like every PlayStation except the PlayStation X.
Yeah, the PSX, right? Yeah.
I already own all of those, and like the first year of each new generation is garbage usually. And if you do buy it early, the console is usually more likely to malfunction and you'll end up having to get a new one anyway. So
right.
True.
So like
I'd just
for
be
me,
buying it for Universal Back Compat. There's no way there'd be any first year PS5 games I'd be interested in.
Yeah.
Outside of stuff like Last of Us that came out around the same time, so they poured it forward.
Yeah. If like they were to release a game that like I don't expect them to release, I might get it. Like if they were to release God of War 2/5, I would definitely get it. But I know for a fact they're not going to do that.
God of 5. God of 5 is the part of God of War where he beats up Atreus and then Atreus is taken away by the Child Protective Services.
What are they even going to title that? Because they can't title it God of War Ragnarok because that's going to be the third one in this trilogy. And they can't call it God of War 2.
They can.
I mean, that would be really stupid because it's a consistent storyline. It's not like this is a reboot.
God of War Modern Warfare.
It was fucking stupid for them to call the fourth one God of War. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, but like, they're not going to call it God of War 2. They're not going to do it. Everybody loves adding little, like, subtitle things. Like, that's the big thing nowadays. You can't just call your movie or game the second one. You have to call it, like, something like stupid, like, I don't know.
Revengeance.
Yeah, like Revengeance. Or, what was the really awful Star Trek sequel?
Uh,
I can't
Wrath of
remember.
Khan, Search for Spock.
No, not Wrath of Khan. I'm talking about like
The recent
the
one.
new Into Darkness, Star Trek
Yeah.
Into Darkness. Like,
Yeah,
you can't
something
just
like
call it Star Trek 2. You got to call it Star Trek Into Darkness, which makes no sense.
Because there's already been a Star Trek 2.
They didn't even add like a freaking colon for Star Trek Into Darkness. It was just Star Trek Into Darkness with no colon.
Yeah, the star is trekking into darkness. We've decided to leave behind the Enterprise crew. We're just going to follow a star that's going in space. All right, do you want to call it here?
I guess.
Sure.
I'm good for that.
All right.
How do you say bye?